Hello everyone, welcome back to the Fate of Aeothar. Previously, the heroes of Wintervale make it to the Feywild, the hag making good on her bargain. When they awake, they are in a strange land that is foreign to all of them but Moss. As you get your bearings in this strange land and meet some of the inhabitants, that's where we'll pick up. It's your first official day in the Feywild since arriving.
We are in the civilization.
Yes,
Correct?
you are still in the town.
Do we know its name?
No, I don't think you ever...
Yes, we do.
You do?
Yes, I'm pretty sure. Hold up. Where's the map? There. Never mind. I think.
Yeah, no.
Huh?
Pretty sure we said the name.
We know like the district area we're in. but I
Yeah,
don't
like
know,
the
your
district
name.
area. I thought it was just the town names. My bad. I thought it was the town names.
In that case,
I mistook it for like the area.
I'm
Nice.
Yes, you
infuriated.
have been.
Yes, I go to the front of the town to see the name of the town.
God damn you. Okay, 1 second.
Yes.
It is called Ridge Fate.
I stop a young boy and say, "Sir, what do you know of Ridge Fate?" And I flip him a gold coin.
And he
I'm the
says,
biggest turkey.
it is in the Feywild, you idiot. I'm just kidding.
Why do you have such a deep voice, young boy?
You
So
fucking
strange.
idiot.
Because your mom turned me into a man. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh!
You stupid
There's
boy.
like kids
You
gathering
got
around
me.
him like, oh shit!
You buffoon! Fireball!
Oh!
I decapitate the boy!
better keep that in. I swear to God.
Fireball can't burn this boy as much as he just burned you, man. Shit. As I try and refrain from laughing.
Right? Tali can write that one down if they want to for their vicious mockery.
Ah, yes, Talia, the manliest man.
You failed vicious mockery.
It doesn't
your
have to
mom.
make it doesn't have to make sense. It just has to hurt. Emotionally. Anyway though, yeah. So you want to know about where you are.
Tell me what you know of this town. Yes. The town, the surrounding area. Where are we?
And he says, well, you are in the realm of summer. This is one of the hottest parts within the realm of summer, and it is ruled by the arch fae Leopold Starfallow.
Leopold Starfallow. What do I know of Leopold Starfallow?
Roll history.
Oof. I'm going to give myself a little guidance on that.
Can I ask if I know anything about Leopold Starfell? Have I been taught he is a terrifying tyrant to be feared?
Oof.
Roll history as well, if you would like.
Hmm.
This would be ridiculous if Blue knows this and Moss doesn't.
I don't.
Okay.
No!
The scales are balanced. Okay.
I don't even know how to say his name.
So yeah, you don't really recognize the name Tony, and Moss. As far as you don't really get into the realm of summer too often. It's a bit hot here for your taste.
Whereabouts? So me and Hyrsam were all around the realm of spring then, mostly that, right?
No,
Where we
the
spent most of our time.
realm of autumn.
Autumn. Were we more in Borothean or Craghorn?
Craghorn.
More in Craghorn, and then the guy we talked to pointed us in the direction of Borothean, correct, for the forges?
Mm-hmm. In
Have
fact,
I ever been to Borothean in my time, or did I spend all of the time in Craghorn?
I wouldn't even say that you guys were really like on Craghorn itself. I would say that you guys were on the set of islands between the two.
Between, like that, just jumping between the islands. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
But
That's good. So we're in the realm of summer, so we're up to the north of those islands.
currently,
I guess like north, was that northwest?
yeah, northwest.
Whereabouts? So we're in a Riverin then.
Mm-hmm.
And whereabouts in Riverin are we? Towards the north side?
No, the south side.
South side, like
Yeah.
towards the mountains? How close to the mountains are we?
You just passed over them, And the
Just
last,
passed over.
yeah, you just passed over them in the last session.
Good stuff. So if we head straight east, we're running the islands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's my home turf. Good to know. Thank you, boy. And I flip him another coin. You deep-voiced boy.
Yeah. Here's some. As far as you know, he enjoys going to the Realm of Spring, but he's not exactly welcome there.
Yes.
Arjada
Because
feels
of-
that.
Moss takes off his sunglasses. The old times.
The incidents.
And then the sunglasses
Hey, give me my
disappear.
sunglasses back.
Oh, sorry.
Tony goes to put them on and then realizes it's daytime. Takes them off again.
Speaking of which, seeing that, Jamila's gonna be all like, what are those glasses for?
They let me see in the dark. They're like sunglasses, but not they're like reverse sunglasses.
Yes, unfortunately, I can see quite a bit, but both Tony and I are quite inept when it comes to the dark. That's why, and then Moss lights his hand on fire.
And
We
like,
have other plans.
Jamila's all like, so I actually have trouble seeing in the brightness or the light.
Oh, do not put these on,
Yes.
they will blind you.
Yes, I see how you're squinting right now. Your eyes look very tired.
Yeah.
I thought you just grabbed some of the herbs we were walking through in the forest. They're quite good if you put them in a pipe.
With a long stare at Moss, like. Really?
There's like 3 pipes hanging from Moss's belt.
How does that even? Where do you?
I still
Okay.
process the air I breathe, apparently.
It's okay, I get it.
Listen, I'm not entirely built, apparently. Like, and he knocks himself, and he's not hollow. There's something in there. You know, I'm in here. Can I look around for a tavern?
Sure.
Scanning, because I'm out of wild shapes. We need to sleep.
Yeah. Roll investigation.
Ugh, anyone want to help or take the lead?
On investigation.
No.
I turn to Talia.
Yes.
Lady Talia, could you do me a favor?
Lady, don't you lady me. It's terrifying. Oh, I haven't heard that in years.
And I'm assisting. No,
Ooh.
I'm assisting you. I'm assisting you.
Okay.
Yeah!
Well, that's
Yeah,
good then.
29.
With assistance. With a D4 if you want to go for 29.
Okay. So yeah, you
29!
29.
Nice.
Roll.
Got max.
Nice fucking roll.
Awesome.
Show me your nicest tavern.
You can't find a tavern anywhere.
Taverns don't exist in the Feywild, you fool. But no, you do find one. It is the outdoor tavern that you saw the paladin-looking fellow walk into when you first arrived.
Ah. So we will approach. Does it look nice?
Yeah, it seems very nice. It
Does it look
is.
busy?
It's relatively busy. It is surrounded by like shoulder high for most of you, like stone walls, and it is open on the top, and you can see like the tops of tall plants and trees kind of coming over the wooden or the stone walls.
Nice.
Hmm.
Tony will ready his drinks order.
Okay. Yeah, and there's like a building connected to it that has, workers inside who are taking orders and bringing drinks out.
Nice.
And
I will take the lead and approach.
I'm going to ask Moss, real quick. Do the people of the Feywild like music?
I love music. It's where music comes from, young Jamila.
Ah, okay.
In fact,
Well,
if I recall correctly, I believe Hyrsam invented most stringed instruments.
Oh, well, that's actually fairly interesting because I have this little thing. No, I have this little thing called I have this little thing, and she like pulls out a really big instrument out of her backpack. You don't know how she fit it in there, and it's like a big, like, I think it's 4 or 5 strings, and it looks like a lute, but it's like slightly bigger.
It's like comically large for you to be holding.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still ridiculously small for Boss, so he like grabs it with 2 fingers. And what do you call this, young Jamila?
It's called an ode. Ode.
Oh.
I don't know. My boyfriend gave it to me. Or well,
Ah,
not boyfriend.
ex-boyfriend?
No.
Boss raises an eyebrow. That doesn't exist.
Well, he's not exactly my boyfriend yet.
Yet. Ooh.
Oh.
Tony's like holding his fingers above Moss's lenses, like behind him, and doing like eyebrow motions. As he goes,
We need to
ooh, he
find
like
a
narrows
tinkerer
them.
to add more facial expressions. That'll be the next patch upgrade.
Oh, it would be great.
That's good.
But
and
in the meantime, shall
you
we
continue-
go grab our rooms as we continue to ask some questions?
I actually do have something called by popular demand, so if you want me to use that.
What
That's
is
why I was
this?
asking if they like music. So rule like talk, it is basically a thing that lets me play music, and if I do well enough, they'll let us stay and eat for free. However, it doesn't have like a specific role. It's basically just based on what the DM wants to do.
Well,
But
that'll be good if we are necessary. But for now, we're new to town. Let's just let our coin speak for itself for now.
this is me talking, not Jamila.
Yes, I'm aware, but I'm slipping back into characters and pretending
Oh,
that we
okay.
just explained all that in character. You see.
Ah, okay.
Who are you
Indeed.
talking to?
Yes, I'm not sure. I'm just like looking above Jamila's head and then look down. Of course. But I think for now, and Moss pats his coin purse, I think let's just let's let them know that we are welcome in enjoying their town. Adding to the
Alrighty.
commerce, so to speak. The one thing that does speak in the Feywild is deals. They speak in coin. Well, not all, but most. Coin will get you far, but deals will get you farther.
I do seem to already like the Feywild.
Do not agree to anything. Moss like turns around to everyone.
Tony is struck with the fear of death in his eyes.
It's
I
eyes that we
can
can't
barely
see.
see.
Clear.
Okay.
Let me
Moss,
make
you see
something
his
very
eyes
clear.
piercing through the light in his helmets, and they look terrified as you say this.
Moss holds his hand up. It is okay. The people are just people, but among these people are also master of illusions. People, archfays, damn near gods that will just be sitting there talking to you, and if you agree to something while you're not thinking, just haphazardly having a drink, suddenly you're in service of an ethereal being. It's dangerous, it happens, and then guess what? You get travel around with them for 1,500 years. Shit happens, okay? Just watch your tongue.
Is that how you met Hyrsam?
It's a longer story than that, but we'll get there.
Wait, are we talking? Do you mean literally everything or common sense everything?
You can talk to people, but just like don't make any deals, don't make any agreements, you know? Like you can enjoy things and agree with someone if they say something. It's not that cut and dry. It'll be obvious. Just don't make any promises.
Literally,
Okay.
literally everything in the Feywild right now comes to kill all of you.
Tony would like to ready an attack.
There's still, you'll see. Just keep it relax. It's okay. Just be on your guard.
I like
hope
to
won't
aware.
see.
I like to imagine that like Moss is giving this whole spiel, and then Tony's just slowly raising his fist.
They're just like in front of my face, like stick them up, but he's like
Well,
cowering behind them.
To be honest, so far, I'll be honest, I kind of forgot because talking's kind of weird with how I remember. I guess not a lot of people here speak common, so I guess I'll be translating mostly, so it should be alright. Just speak freely, I'll translate as you talk. I'll try to match your tone, it'll be alright.
Okay.
So from here on, just assume I'm translating unless I specifically say I don't say that.
Cool.
Fair.
Can we get a
Into
drink
silver.
now? Or will I have to,
Indeed.
like, sell my soul for that?
No, they, as I said, they take coin.
Oh, good. Ha 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 ha.
But seriously,
shakes his head.
if you'd like to sell your soul, there's somebody open for that.
I'd
No,
rather
no,
not.
absolutely.
Ooh.
There's like 4 or 5 shops on the other side of town, but he is just they sell drinks.
Tony looks at you like, really? But he doesn't say really. He's got that look on his face.
Yes.
The face we can't see.
That we can't see.
And then he turned. No, but Moss can understand
I mean,
You could understand the face from the body language.
the eyes.
the hag
all
was
the
definitely
eyes.
interested in doing some more business. I'll just say that.
Yeah. No, the hag was put that, and that's why Moss is pushing this sword. It's like, yeah, it's been a while, but that bitch was like, hey, let's make a deal. Hey, let's make a deal on top of that deal. Hey, how about a third deal? And I was like, nah, let's just go with the first one.
We got a
sis.
3-year plan.
We can put this shit on layaway, fam. What's up?
Anyway,
Um,
drinks, alcohol.
Yeah, so Moss goes up and Tony like repeats all the order, yada yada, gets us drinks, and we'll sit in the tavern for a bit before we go and inquire about rooms.
Okay. Yeah, and the tavern is pretty busy. There's a few people around. There are a couple from that same paladin order that you saw, and there's a
Remind me real quick. Give me a quick recap of that order for me.
Ale,
What's
a
the garb?
whiskey, 2 wines, and whatever the house special is now, I believe.
okay.
What?
That's the general order.
That's the drink order.
Yeah, for the group.
I repeat that as I look over the garb of these paladins again to refresh my memory.
Yeah, they are all wearing very heavy plate armor, similar to Tony's, and they have like very tall helmets as well. And
Any iconography scrawled onto them?
yeah, they have pendants of a acorn inside of a maple leaf.
They're Canadian.
And what was that god again? I recall we were told that god. I'm just trying to. I didn't write it down because I'm dumb.
You guys didn't know who the god was actually.
No,
we
but we
didn't.
recognized the paladin.
Mm.
Yes. He was from a church or a saintly building. Too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was gonna check out at some point.
So we order some drinks and just enjoy the atmosphere. Kind of eye the paladins. Do they do anything, or are they just kind of drinking?
At the moment, they're just drinking, getting a bit rowdy.
Can I overhear anything about their conversation?
Roll a perception.
31.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
That's a 19.
Okay.
No guidance either, by the way.
Yeah, you overhear them talking about the summer court and how they are planning on having a festival very soon.
Ooh. How soon? Do they mention a date or how many days away?
They don't mention a date, but from the way they're talking, it sounds like it's going to be within a week or two.
Ooh, good to know. I kind of whisper over to the rest of the party. It's like, sounds like there'll be a festival from being thrown by the Summer's Court in the next week or two. Might be something worth taking a look at, getting to show you a proper Feywild party.
I'm gonna be real with you. It also sounds like something we don't have the time for.
Well, if this is after we sprint up north and destroy this phylactery, I just need to rest today.
Tony looks suspiciously at the idea of a proper party, like a nervous kid would at the same mention. Like, I don't know.
The feasts of the material are fun and all. Lots of drinking, lots of shouts, but it's just night of performances, week of performances sometimes. Sometimes just doesn't stop. Moss just kind of like gazes off into the distance, thinking about the past.
That sounds like a good opportunity to steal a lot of things.
Exactly, as he snaps back down to you.
Do you want me to steal something there, or...?
It's free game. If you don't get caught, you take whatever you want.
But if you
Yeah.
Cheers.
but if you do get
Yeah.
caught,
Keepers. Yeah, if you do get caught, Be careful who you steal from. That's about it.
He's very slowly sipping on his whiskey with like a narrowed expression at both of you, like, what the fuck?
I mean, generally, I don't steal anything unless I'm getting paid to steal it. But then again,
I'm not
it's
gonna
not-
give you any coin, but well, I mean, we all split coin. So anything you steal, you just split with us. I mean, there's just a lot of shit here. You do whatever you want, take it. You want to
Yeah, I
steal,
know, but
steal. It's a lot of new targets.
I'm fully aware of that. And if you guys want me to steal something, I will. Like, if any of you need money.
Steal. Do it. Do it
Well,
now.
I mean, I've got a good bit of coin. Moss like looks at his purse. It's a little bit lighter than usual, but nothing bad. I'm pretty all right. I assume everyone else is. You good on coin? Anyone need
okay.
anything?
Check.
Me looks down at my coin purse.
Yeah,
and, like,
I'm good. I'm good. for now.
Moths like fly out of the bag and it's like a
Yeah.
cloud of dust. The crickets
Yeah.
chirping.
We all just kind of pat our, and there's lots of jingles and no jingles from Jamila. And it's like, Jamila, you good on coin?
Maybe?
Okay, everyone. Just kind of looks around the group. Would everyone be okay with chipping in a bit?
Sure.
Giving Jamila a bit of party funds?
That's all we give Jamila
Yeah, sure.
money.
You gave me 1 platinum.
Yeah,
Oh.
a single platinum, 10 gold.
That is fair.
Are you going
Thought
to
it was
be a
a lot.
burden for the whole trip? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't need that much money, I'm gonna be honest.
Well, it's just, you're new to the party, Jamila. It's only fair.
I feel like you should have at least 200 in case you need to, like,
Yeah,
Buy
I'll
shit.
I'll chip in another 10 platinum.
Oh, okay.
Everyone, is everyone
Same.
okay with 10? Can everyone chip in 10? Call
No.
it a day?
No.
You're not in this party, God.
that's 20. Yeah, God.
God takes all your money. No, I'm just kidding.
Talia, Durgit?
Sure.
Yeah, I chip in 5 platinum.
Fine,
I'll
that's
give
fine.
I'll give 100 gold, which is 10 platinum. But yeah,
In the shade.
So you get 2 gold, 2 platinum, no.
2 gold.
Fuck. 25
5
platinum,
platinum is what I gave her.
25 platinum, and then 100 gold.
Mm-hmm. And she Durgit pulls out like a patch of she sees everyone's giving her platinum, and then Durgit pulls out like a pouch and like gives it to her, and it's like this big pouch, and she's like, and then she opens it, sees gold, and it was like, oh,
I mean, this is
this is
don't get me wrong,
great.
This is good, but
Yeah.
It's important
want
to always
break.
carry big bills.
I want bragging rights with my platinum. It's the same amount as like 10 platinum, so
I'm
Like,
still
if you
up 10
hit
on
that-
all of you suckers, and Moss walks away from the group.
cheers.
I'm gonna
Tony
go.
follows behind like a scared dog.
Boss is gonna walk up to the bar and inquire about rooms.
Okay. Yeah, and you ask the tavern keeper, and he tells you that there are rooms available, and they are a gold a night for each person.
Who is the tavern keeper?
He seems to be a Eladrin of the Summer Court, tall, very like golden, almost red, blonde hair, and the telltale like very long, wispy ears of the Fey people.
I
have a question. Is he
Shuffling behind
speaking-
us.
Is he speaking in Sylvan, whatever?
He is speaking Eladrin.
Oh, that's a different language from Sylvan.
Ooh.
I think. I think.
Yes, I do not speak Eldrin, so I.
Hold on. Un momento. I'm pretty sure Eladrin is its own language, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this.
Quote.
I speak Elvish and Sylvan, so would I be able to piece together Eldrin?
Well, hold on. I'm seeing if that's a thing.
Yeah. Or just
They
speak Sylvan.
speak. According to this, which I
Probably.
think this is an old.
He and Mike's got it. Let him look. Let him
Okay.
find it. Because Mike's got different documentation, I'm sure.
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
I guess.
okay. Oh, that's 4E. It says. I'm sure it hasn't changed, right? It says common and elven.
of, I believe. Hold on, so let's just see.
According to the Forgotten Realms wiki, they speak Common, English, and Sylvan in 5e.
Okay.
Yes, English.
English?
Elvish, I said.
Oh.
Elvish.
You said English.
Okay. Yeah,
Did
yeah.
I say English?
Yeah.
Sylvan is the language of fey creatures and okay, yep. So they speak Sylvan.
Cool.
I'm sorry, I thought Eldrin was its own language for some reason.
I did to be.
Oh, it's all good.
Even if it
Um,
was, if the entire city speaks Sylvan, would be bad if a tavern dude didn't speak Sylvan.
She is going to say, do you understand me? In common.
To the Eldrin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he'll say, yes, I do.
Oh, that's
The
nice.
common language, I haven't spoken it in a while.
And then she's gonna speak in Draconic and say, what about this?
And
Moss will respond
yeah.
in Draconic to her and just be like, it's kind of rude to just test people's language of knowledges.
Sonny will
knowledge of
respond in
languages.
Draconic. Yeah, this isn't a quiz.
yeah, and he just kind of looks at you oddly as you speak in Draconic. He doesn't understand it.
Moss will respond in Sylvan. I apologize. She's rather new to this area.
And yeah, he doesn't seem bothered by it.
They bows and he'll give them 5 gold. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 5.
Jamila will also bow.
Tony will give a nervous wave.
Okay.
I will do a little head bow.
And looking
Moss will
around.
take the keys and go.
Okay. Yeah, and looking around the tavern, all of the inhabitants here that you see are fairly fantastical looking. There are the Leonin, the very tall, broad, strong lion humanoids. You see Eldrin, plenty of them. You see satyrs. You see even what look like little Spriggans, maybe, or some sort of a dryad, perhaps. But yeah, all of these very, very different seeming peoples are just in this tavern and drinking and coexisting.
Mm-hmm.
And not a head is turning and looking at Moss.
No,
the best.
yeah.
Love the Feywild.
Tony said, well, also not turn. He will keep his head down, take the first room on the left.
Okay,
Moss will take the room right next door.
okay. So yeah, all of you guys are taking a long rest or a short rest?
Moss
Oh,
will
what
go
time?
long.
Long.
Okay, I
Also
guess we
night.
can.
I hope.
The sun has not gone down since you've been here.
How long have we been here?
Feels like a day, at least. Half a day.
What do I know about the sun cycle of the Feywild, Mike?
Roll history.
I've lived here for 1,500 years. I don't know how the sun goes down.
So then you should have nothing to
Your
be
memory's
nervous about,
bad.
right?
Oh yeah, sure. All right, bud. Luck.
Why do you keep rolling 2s?
Because it's a 0. There you go. Luck.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
Ah.
Nice. All right, there you go. Right. So
How sun work?
you know that the seasons here are very exaggerated. The seasons don't happen in a chronological order like they do in the material realm. Each season has its own area of the Feywild. And you know, depending on what part of it you are in, the days can be longer or shorter. Being in the realm of summer, the days are extremely long here. You know that it can sometimes be an entire day without the sun going down.
Moss nods. Him just kind of being aware of this and just intrinsically knowing all of this, obviously.
Whereas
course.
winter, there's like 6 hours of daylight and the rest is just cold.
Like 4 days of darkness.
Yeah.
That's metal. And Moss will sit down in his room with the window open and just sit in the sun and begin his 8 hours of rest.
Okay.
Because if the sun does not go down, the sun does not dictate his sleep cycle anyway, because he doesn't sleep. So
Mhm.
he's just resting.
Okay. Yeah, and
Continue.
I was just gonna say, the rest of you are doing a short rest or a long rest, or
China doesn't care if it's damn tired.
Jamila is actually going to have trouble sleeping because of how bright it is, so she will only take a short rest for now.
Close the
There's gotta be, like,
blinds.
I don't think they have.
I did not think of blinds.
I don't think they have like blackout blinds and way back in the day.
Sleep under the bed.
Yeah, I'll just sleep under the
No,
bed.
they had the layered windows.
Yeah.
The layered curtains.
Yeah, true.
Actually,
So
I
it
don't know.
wouldn't be like full blackout, but it'd be like it's serviceable to sleep in.
Mhm.
Actually, most of like the older houses had like wooden thingy in front of like the windows that you could close, so literally
Yeah,
nothing
the whole
would come in.
doors.
Yeah, like basically whole ass fucking doors in front of the windows.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they had some small slits in it, so there would be just a bit of sunlight so you can actually see, but it's not
Houses in America still have those.
Mhm.
Do you know what?
Okay.
Tony is going to take a short rest.
Yeah, if Tony's taking a short rest, Jamila is also taking a short rest.
I'm gonna do some
I
things
think
in the
tomorrow.
town.
Moss is redoing his spells and everything,
Okay.
so he needs a long.
All right. So yeah, Tony and Jamila will take a short rest while Talia and Durgat, I suspect, will take a long one.
But I mean, it depends. How long have we been awake?
A day.
Yeah, you're going on like a full day. Of,
Define a day like as
24
6.
hours.
you are coming
Okay.
up on 24 hours without sleep.
Well,
If-
that
if I-
case,
yeah.
good night.
In that case, I will sleep.
In that case, I will also sleep.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you guys go ahead and take your long rest and get 8 hours of sleep. And when
I
you
put a chair against the door.
okay, and when
I
you
locked the door.
okay, and when you awake, it is nighttime.
Moss lingers in his room longer than usual, as he ruminates much longer on his spells than he usually does. It's been a while since he's been home. He doesn't know what to prepare.
He's
Mhm.
photosynthesizing.
Oh yeah, the moss. Oh, just wait. Oh, that's great.
Did this accidentally uncover some part of like Moss mechanics?
No, you kind of hinted at something that he was doing.
Photosynthesizing?
He said he sat himself in front of the door for a reason.
Oh my god, Moss is a plant. Like a full fucking plant made out of metal. Calling it now.
Yeah.
Yes?
Ooh.
What?
Watery sphere. It's just a cool spell.
Does it make water?
It makes a watery sphere that I can control for up to a minute.
Does that mean?
That sounds
Could I-
incredibly,
Continue.
that sounds incredibly unhelpful. I have to be real with you.
I can drown something and hold it in the air.
Or better yet, I create an air bubble. I don't have control water anymore.
I don't either actually. I swapped it for Shillelagh.
I am now the only one with shape water. Ha!
Shillelagh's what lets me get a +8 to attack on my bow.
But I can make
Oh,
water
wait,
do
wait.
funny things.
Wait. Didn't Hadrada get like a scroll of control water and copy it into the spellbook?
Yes, he did.
I have control water, I just can't use it!
Actually,
one
you
here can read
can.
spell
You
books.
you need to roll a DC of like 21.
That's
over
it. That's
something
on
like
the
that.
scroll, but the scroll gets destroyed
Yeah.
if you copy
No,
it
this
too much.
Hadrada copied this shit on the scroll to a spellbook. I have
No
the
one here
spellbook
can
for-
read spell books.
Yeah, that's
but
the
Moss-
issue. I have
Moss
control.
can.
Yeah, I have
Technically.
control water. I just can't use it.
Moss has a spell book.
So Jamila,
Indeed.
when she wakes up, is going to
Yes.
open the window and like be all like, and like smell the fresh night air and be all like, it
Ah.
feels just.
It is still
Nice.
hot. It is still hot, by the way, too. Think of like nighttime in Arizona in the middle of the summer.
Actually, nighttime in Arizona is pretty cool. But yeah, I get what you mean.
It's a desert, that's why it's
Not
cold.
as cool as Tony with his damn glasses on, so he can see.
Okay.
And as nighttime takes over, you can see in the sky there is a neonish sort of green tint, almost like a aurora borealis that goes across the entire sky at nighttime, and it is very hazy and like lightning green and little patches of stars in it.
Fey magic.
And around you in the city that you're in, it's a little bit here, but you can see that on some of the buildings there've begun to mushrooms have begun to grow in the corners of the buildings and kind of up in the corners of the ceiling and stuff on the outside. And they are like pale blue bioluminescent mushroom that lightly glows as it gets darker.
Oh, yeah.
Fey mushrooms. I will exit my room and look for literally anyone that I'm familiar with.
Moss's door is closed.
Roll perception.
Please, someone, anyone?
You find one of the paladins,
probably up-
and they say,
up and around.
you're not from around here, are you?
If Talia is outside their room, oh my goodness. Thank God. I will
One
go
of the
stand over there.
Hello. She's sleeping.
Hi. Probably not. No, I mean, yeah. Tony will say yeah.
So,
Good.
So Jamila will step out of her room and start walking down to find Tony and Talia.
I give her a traditional Dragonborn greeting.
She reciprocates this.
Probably just says, hello. Slept well.
To Jamila or Tony?
To Jamila because she already said it to Joni and I just dropped my phone.
Great job.
Talia, you fool.
what's a phone?
Yeah, what's a phone?
Oh,
No.
stone.
Okay.
She says it to Jamila.
So Jamila responds, I slept as well as one could.
Fair enough.
I just kind of suddenly appear. So what's the plan now?
Oh God! Hi.
Hi.
Oh,
Everything okay?
Jesus Christ, Durgan.
Don't do that to me.
Don't do what?
Just
Sneak up on us like that.
here
I-
behind me.
I just walked down here.
Just can you not do it as terrifyingly quietly?
This is how I normally walk. What's the
Ooh.
issue?
Jamila seems confused why you two are scared as well. Or well, she doesn't seem confused to why you're scared. Because she understands why you're scared, but she also like knows that she's like almost silent because of her training and also because she's so light.
Guys, you gotta take a moment to take a breather.
Have you all seen
Nice.
Moss?
Gonna go over to Moss's door.
Door is closed. It's open. It's open.
Open the door.
Okay.
He's just sitting there with his book open. He's flipping through.
Hey.
And the moss is kind of inverted, where usually it's the lines of moss. Now all of the metal is covered in moss, and there's lines of where the metal is poking through.
You good under all that?
Feels a bit more comfortable under here.
Cool.
Is the moth cool?
10, 11. Slightly. 2 more. He's sitting there just flipping through his book. Oh, Jesus, this is taking me longer than usual. But, and he chooses old reliables, snaps his book shut, and stands up. Apologies. Are we ready to make way?
Yes.
I guess. Wait, use a spellbook?
Yeah, muscle. Stuff it back into his bag of holding.
I pull out Hydrata spellbook. Can you do something with this? Because I can't.
Well, I probably won't be able to do any of the spells, but if you wanted help reading it, I mean, I can hold on to it, but keep it safe. I've got his other stuff in here. He gave me a bunch of. Bless you.
Tony's allergic to the face balls.
You should clean out the inside of your mask. The helmet's probably gross now.
Takes off his helmet and like gets a rag and like wipes it all inside.
Moss gives him a little patch of moss off his arm.
Oh, thank you.
It regrows.
Jamila just stares at Tony's face like, I don't think I've ever seen your face before.
Tony stares into your eyes deeply and says, and this will be the last time you see it if you tell anyone what I look like. And then starts laughing like, and then stares back at Jamila very seriously.
Jamila just like...
Don't
It's
flatter
just like,
yourself, you don't look that good.
But Cobb, I don't appreciate this.
Also, friends and turns to Tony specifically, but anyone who has trouble in the dark, I'm being a bit more prepared, so just give me a reminder when it gets dark out. I know you've got your glasses, Tony, but just in case for anyone, remember, just let me know.
I don't have any trouble seeing, and I mean,
verbalizing to the group.
And
Don't worry, Ross. I won't be left in there. And he puts his glasses on. Dark this time.
It's light and turns on his fire hand.
Ah, fuck!
Yeah, don't weather inside. You look like a dick.
I can't see.
Jamila will climb up and be all like, I'll be your guide.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I just wanted to do a funny joke, okay? Oh, my eyes. Oh, okay, where are we going? And please tell me, like, the direction, because I can't see anymore. Ooh.
Well, you all will be hopping onto me, and I will be flying us to the northeast. Up into, our friend at the magic shop, whose name is escaping me currently, told us where we could find, the forges. Over in my old neck of the woods, a bit north side of my neighborhood, but it's nearby.
is it colder than here?
Yes, it's beautiful out there.
Thank fuck. Can we go? We can go now, please.
Well, then again, we are also going into the into a forge, so I imagine it will still be rather hot where we're going.
Yeah, but it's still better than it being inside of a forge while not even trying to go near one.
That's fair. All right, and Moss will guide everyone outside.
Jamila does not need guiding.
Okay.
Jamila's doing the Ratatouille
Yeah,
thing
no,
of, like,
me neither,
controlling
Talia.
turning while he's rubbing his eyes.
Literally, the only people having problems with vision in the dark are Tony and Moss.
Well, it's also, is it dark out right now?
Yes. It is nighttime, finally.
Moss will hit dark vision on himself then.
Okay.
Time of concentration from that.
Whoops.
What happened?
I just dropped my bracelet.
Oh, I'll pick it up for you. Tony gets it.
And like she puts it back on. And it's like you see that it's like solid gold, but it looks sort of fake.
A bit of it rubs off in my hand.
Yeah. Moss will wings.
Okay. Turning into Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah.
Make the sound thingy, or are you using polymorph? Thank you.
Alright, now make the other sound.
Make all the sounds.
No, I mean the one that you make, you div.
Do this sound. Hey,
Yeah.
wait. Now do this sound. I like this
Oh,
sound.
Yeah. I tell
Do
you
that
what,
one.
Quetzalcoatl, bruh. Yeah. I get on the Quetzalcoatl.
What's a brawler?
I get on the Bromobile.
Oh, God.
Anyway, let's go.
Okay. So, yeah, all of you get onto Moss.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And, I fucking book it northeast.
Okay. Yeah. So you start heading from Rivieren, where you are, and start cutting to the east. And as you leave the continent and begin over the water that separates the two land masses, you look down and notice that in the water, it is either completely crystal clear and reflecting the green from the sky, or the water itself is this same green nebula sort of material, and this is what makes the physical ocean. But
Can I have a detailed look into the water?
Moss is going to just continually guide and do whatever anyone wants him to do. My food is here, so I'll be like 5 minutes.
okay,
Can
Yeah.
Tony have a very strained look into the water because he's kind of scared?
that's fine, yeah. And you notice that it seems like it's the same thing above and below you as you fly across. It's a very odd feeling sensation.
Is there anything in the water?
Roll perception. You know what this is.
Wait. I know. I was waiting for you to say it. 15. Ain't bad.
15, okay. So yeah, looking into the water, you do notice that there seem to be like pods of animals swimming close together, and it's a very large group of these animals, probably 7 or 8 of them in total, and they are diving beneath and then above and almost matching pace with all of you.
Mach 2 speed.
They're quick. But they look like friendly, interesting wildlife.
Yeah, I would say
They do have more of 1,000 teeth.
yeah, I would say they seem like more animals than like a monster,
Nice.
if that makes
Well, they
sense.
only
Sleep a
have
little better
100
tonight.
teeth.
Tony's comforted at seeing something not trying to murder him in the water.
And then
That's
from
a
the
nice
depths rise a large.
No!
I'm just kidding.
Well, it's fine because I cut straight up and fly high into the sky.
and
The
it's
fish are in the sky too, aren't they?
fucking flying Godzilla.
Flying scorpions.
God, that would suck. It's like, oh, it's Godzilla. We can just get higher than he is, and it's fine.
Fucking Mothra shows
We can
up.
just get high.
Yeah, I was gonna say. It seems like something in all his skill set.
Oh, Pixel, I
It's
love you so
Godzilla, we
much
can
right
just
now.
get
I'm
high.
so proud. I'm like a proud father. Oh, it was brilliant.
That was
Pixel,
good.
you got another dad. Proud of you. Collect all of the dads.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
D&D,
That's bland.
D&D.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Moss flies us in.
okay. Yeah, so after some time flying, you do get over to Borothean. As far as
Do I
when
see anywhere that looks like a giant forge?
you see a very large mountain that seems like a volcano with a plume of smoke coming out of it.
Out of the just like the top middle?
No, at the far northeastern side.
Really? Okay, I will go up very high and get like a wide berth around it, get a good view, see what's going on over there.
Okay. Yeah, and you fly up that way, and you see below it is a canopy of autumn-colored trees with red and yellow and orange leaves on them. This area seems to be in a perpetual state of autumn, and even as you fly, and it's still nighttime when you arrive there, there are similar bioluminescent mushrooms, except much, much larger, that are growing on the trunks of the towering trees. They grow on the outside of it like toadstools, and it illuminates certain parts of the ground below you. And you fly over all of this and head towards the mountain, and you can see that although it's still covered in trees, as you get closer to the mountain, they do start to thin out the closer you get, and the ground goes from relatively flat to beginning to climb in elevation. And the mountain itself seems to be mostly barren stone with very scattered broadleaf trees on it.
I would like to check out the large plume of smoke.
Okay.
You notice Jamila as we go into the realm of autumn, or well, like a autumn-like realm. She starts to get tired.
I'm a hold on to Jamila so that they don't fall asleep and fall off.
Not that tired.
I can't sleep.
Ah!
No,
You drop
yeah.
wild shape to do that.
I will take us on a route to find the large plume of smoke.
Okay. So yeah, as you fly around the vicinity of the mountain, roll a investigation.
Ew.
Do you mind if I? Well, never mind.
Ooh.
Okay.
If anyone else wants to also roll, you are welcome.
Yes, I will also roll.
Can I sit Jamila on my
For good
shoulders?
I
measure.
and
will
that
do
way
it for the
assist?
meme.
Moss is
15.
God. Moss is God.
Can I have assisted Jamila by singing her on my shoulders for the better vantage point?
Sure.
Jamila on Tony on Moss.
That's an extra 6 feet.
Nope, that's even worse.
Okay. So yeah, Moss, you do look around, and as you fly around the vicinity of the mountain, you see at the very bottom where the peak begins to kind of drastically jet out of the ground, there is a carved opening that has carved stone runes on the outside of a doorway leading into this mountain.
So there's runes. Do I recognize the runes or do I know of the runes? Like what they say?
Roll history. Or actually, what languages do you speak? I know you've told me a bunch, but...
Speak Common, Celestial, Druidic, Elven, Goblin, Sylvan, Undercommon, and Draconic.
Goblin.
It is none of those, it seems like.
Ooh.
Are they an orc?
Negative.
Okay, I was worth a try. I'm assuming it's
Or
not.
negative.
Are they in Dwarvish or Infernal?
They are in Dwarvish, yes.
I can't read. What's it say? What's it say?
As
Moss
you
will fly us in close.
as you read the carvings on the as you read the carvings on the doorway, it translates from Dwarvish to essentially the Eternal Forge of Mount Vonmir.
I convey this to the party. She's like, I can't read
What?
what this says.
Von Mir.
You can
Yes!
Oh, wait.
What weird language is that? I've never heard of so guttural and
It's
aggressive.
Dwarvish.
Dwarvish?
Mm-hmm.
Never spoken Dwarvish before. Never... Interesting. I didn't hear Hadrada speak a lot of Dwarvish, did he?
No, he
You
didn't.
know, he was purple, so I kind of forgot that he was
He was red, wasn't he?
Are you
wasn't he?
colorblind?
I see like 9 more colors than all of you do.
Ah.
You see extra colors?
What?
I mean, Moss kind of like knocks on his head, and all of the lenses are different colors.
Ooh.
Each one
Moss
of
is
these
a
allows me
shrimp!
to see a
Oh my
different...
god, Moss is a photosynthesizing shrimp!
I'm not a shrimp. I can't punch really hard.
What color am I really?
Well, right now you're like silver, white, gold.
Anyway, I don't
That's
think.
normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still like
Whoa.
sometimes colors are still the same. I just see more.
Hmm.
But anyway, also, yeah, I dropped to the bird form and all of you were talking now. That happened.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I just assumed that I missed something.
No, we're just here now. No.
Jamila will also pipe into and saying that she can only see green and blue,
Oh.
Ah.
Interesting.
or like everything between green and blue, not just green and blue.
Well, yes, but it's still very limited.
So
Mhm.
so
You see extra colors?
A good
Oh,
question.
it's like, whoa.
Existential crisis. Again.
I have a feeling elven eyes are very similar to human eyes.
We're all looking at you like
I mean,
so.
elves do come from the Feywild.
Except
Don't
they
that mean I
can,
see more.
except they can see in the
color?
dark and they can see a lot
Yeah.
farther.
Yeah, they're a lot better.
Just that, no extra colors.
As everyone just sits there and keep talking about eyes, Moss is walking inside.
I'm
We're all
fucking
looking
lost.
at
I'm not
Talia
part of
like,
this
well, the
conversation.
runes, the words they say, and you're like, my eyes. Oh, my eyes. I'm just watching, like, are you done?
Oh yeah, right. Is that the only thing that it says? What do you when you said is that the only thing that it says on there on the runes of the forge or on the walls of the forge? I guess.
Forge of the Eternal. Von Meer.
Sounds like the place.
Moss is through the door, walking in. As he's walking in, he will also use his second wild shape and just pull out Addie.
Seeing that Moss is not stood right next to him, Tony gives a terrified sprint towards him, like, wait for me!
Yellow holds on with her life.
A golden, brass dragon. A small brass dragon with a long,
Was
very
it
long,
bronze?
flickery tail.
Hmm.
Whatever it was.
Bronze.
Addie. Yes, it's small Addie, little Addie.
Tony will watch Moss do this and then spend the next hour summoning Sam.
Do you think that Addie is like around? So wait, how big is Addie? I know we had this conversation before, but I can't remember.
Tiny creature.
So would they be like the
He's like-
comparison? Because
he-
I'm a small
he-
creature.
He's like the size of a blue jay.
Okay, so he's like really, really small.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you'd
Yeah,
be more
but-
like cat-sized compared to a human.
No, it's size category. Two size categories smaller than you.
Yeah. So yeah, never mind. I thought tiny's only one lower
Is
than
it not-
small.
I thought it was small and then something else than tiny.
Small and tiny.
Oh yeah, so one more down, but still down enough. I think it's the same size as a cat. Like as far as categories go. But it's small, like between a bird and a cat.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, continuing. Jamila holds on for her life while Tony's running.
Moss will scratch Addie's head and communicate with him to alert Moss if he sees anything that Moss misses.
Okay.
Just kind of send him off ahead of us.
Yeah. So, as you cross through the threshold, you are met by very high heat as you come in, and the tunnel itself is carved stone and very flat. It's very fine craftsmanship, and there are even like mock pillars carved into the walls. They're not weight-bearing; they're just decorative. And
Nice.
you begin walking down, and you see at the end of this tunnel there is a very bright orange-red glow that illuminates, like that last maybe 30 feet of the tunnel. And
I pull out my fan.
Moss will put his hand on Tony's shoulder, and let his
Jamila is
senses-
currently on Tony's shoulder.
the other shoulder.
Okay.
There's two of them. And let his senses go numb and let Tony guide his body, and Moss will send his mind into Addie and fly ahead and see what that glowing red is gonna fly by
okay.
with a dark vision of 60 feet. Blind sight of 10 if that matters.
Okay. So yeah, as he goes down the tunnel and comes out the other side into this next room, he sees literal liquid metal waterfalls on the inside of this room. There are large anvils with small-ish humanoids hammering on different things on them.
come on the flight.
Oh yeah, but I didn't.
Or well,
You
no,
bitch.
well
I
no,
didn't have the foresight.
well no, because there was at some point earlier when you said, and I take an hour to summon Sam. I like
Yeah,
vividly remember
yeah.
that.
That
Yeah,
that was when we landed, and I don't think it's been an hour yet.
Well, I mean, coming from where you did over to that island would take more than an hour.
No, I mean when we landed. That's when I started summoning.
Well, that's what he's saying,
Oh,
we
I
just
see.
rested for an
I
I
hour
see. Yeah. Okay, I see.
I'm just passively doing it as we're walking. If we get interrupted, we get interrupted.
Okay. But you guys nonetheless are making your way down the tunnel, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and you make your way down the tunnel. What's that?
Make your way downtown. Yeah, no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you guys make your way down the tunnel, and as you do, you are at the top of a very large stone staircase that goes down into this forge area. And you can see there are multiple work areas, like in this lower part where all the forging is happening. Different anvils, different hammers, and workspaces. And there's a very large central pool of like molten metal that's just roiling and boiling within this like iron pool in the ground.
Tony looks relieved to see dwarves. Like, he
Moss.
doesn't have to learn them.
Yeah. And actually roll a perception check, Tony.
Oh no.
Can I help?
Sure.
By help, I mean do it like myself.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Oh.
Oh my
Can
god.
Can I roll a
Still a
perception
13.
check?
I roll a
Hey,
perception?
still a 13.
Or,
We're
I
talking
mean,
about-
you know, you could just walk up to one of these guys too and...
Well, Moss is also at that same time, as he's just kind of looking around, he's just kind of like doing it as a distraction. So as he reaches down and casts,
Wow.
yeah, enhance ability on young Talia, giving
thanks.
her where's the fucking Eagle's Splendor advantage on charisma checks. Say put
It's
that
a
dwarvish-
wisdom check, but thank you so much.
No, I'm talking about charisma checks because
What
you're
the
going
fuck?
to use that dwarven silver tongue.
Can I roll perception?
Yeah, that's fine.
I walked into this forge
11.
and the bright red light
Okay.
blinded me.
Okay, yeah, that's not great. Okay, so one of these smaller humanoids approaches you, and Dwarvish speaks
Moss
to
pats Talia and pushes her forward.
and
She
speaks,
dusts herself off a little. Yes.
and he addresses you as a group. You know, just seeing who can understand him, and asks who you are and what you're doing here. Not aggressively,
Okay.
just curiously. And as this figure approaches you, you notice that he is Dwarven. But compared to most other dwarves you've seen, he's about a head taller and
Cool.
a little bit broader. His ears are different from the typical dwarven ears. These are more of the elongated, wispy, fey folk ears. And his skin is a dark, like burnt umber, maroon red color.
Ooh.
His eyebrows, beard, and hair is a golden color, and his eyes are like a autumn orange color and glowing slightly.
This guy is
So
just...
these are basically super dwarves.
There's Finn for
Right.
Is that right? Is that right?
Roll
That's what they're called in Pathfinder.
roll a history check.
History. Please. Luck. I'm lucking that. Come on. 18.
Okay. You recall from living here that these are called Dantanlolum.
Dantanlolum.
Yeah.
Moss leans down to Talia, whispers this information to her ear.
Very much appreciated.
I will
and
add that
so-
to World Lore, the spelling of it.
Thank you so much.
And
It's
Moss
much
also at the
appreciated.
same time recasting enhance ability. Or no, it still works. It lasts a minute. Oh, it's up to an hour. Oh, so yeah, still going. We're good.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, so Talia says, because she speaks Dwarvish and understood what he said, where it's obviously a little bit broken because it's not one of the languages she speaks often, but you can speak it. And she said,
You
it's
have
where
advantage on charisma, so it's flawless.
cool, thanks. We're travelers from the material plane, and we seek your assistance. And she does a very deep bow.
Moss will turn
Seeing
to
this-
Tony and nod and like look at the bag.
And
Tony.
sorry, go ahead.
Actually, Tony will wait. No, Tony will wait for whatever this dwarf's gonna do. He's gonna be a bit apprehensive.
Seeing Talia bow, Jamila will also bow on Tony's.
And the dwarf looks at you and says, visitors from the material plane, huh? Well, what is it you need help with, and are you paying?
We would definitely be able to pay, as well as we, so what we need help with, we have this phylactery. It's the word, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
phylactery.
We have this phylactery where there's this really bad evil guy in there, who's regenerating currently, and we really don't want that. And we need to defeat his group, and in order to defeat his group, we need him gone, because if they're complete with him, they are unstoppable, but without him, we can defeat them. So we need it destroyed, and we've been told that the forges in the Feywild are capable of destroying such a thing. So she keeps gesturing through the phylactery to the bag and just
Moss can't understand what Talia is saying, so he
okay.
can't stop her from rambling. But he's just like nodding, so impressed about like how eloquent her speech is.
Wow.
thank you.
So to the point, precise.
So roll persuasion.
Cool, and I have
With
advantage on that,
advantage.
right?
With
Mhm.
advantage.
Yep.
No, that's performance, not persuasion. 16.
Can we keep the performance roll because of the same modifier?
No,
Yeah.
persuasion. That's fine. 16 is fine though.
Thank you. Thank you.
And he says,
He's
Huh?
Oh, I was just gonna make a joke. Continue.
And he says, that sounds like bad business. How much are you willing to pay? Let's talk about price here.
One moment, and so it turns around to the group, and says, "Okay, so they're doing it, but for money. How much are we willing to pay for this?"
I mean,
Does
as
he know the world-ending
Yeah,
issue
Explain
at
to
hand?
him
Not
that,
his
no wait, I
world.
don't know what.
Not
Well,
his
I mean,
world. Yeah.
it would also be his world. It's all the worlds.
Oh, really?
No, it's all of the planes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't, but I don't want to bring it up now.
But, hey, mate, do you speak common tongue?
Uh,
over at the dwarf.
yeah, he doesn't respond. It doesn't seem like
Responds in
it doesn't seem like he
he
understands.
Moss will speak to Sylvan. How about this then?
And he says,
Nothing.
yeah.
Oh, there we go. What's going on, man? How you doing?
He says, fine.
Yes, of course. My friends here, as they said, are from the. I assume said they're from the material planes. Gave you the whole story.
Totally nods. Yeah, he said that.
Yes, they did.
I understand if you need payment. We, of course, will be willing to apply a down payment, but we are also being sent here from a kingdom of the material plane. So, if you really wanted, you could list any price. We can give you a down payment, and we can return. And granted, we'd need to be provided a way to and fro, but we'd be able to act as ambassadors and get you payment from this kingdom, from the material plane, especially if you see gold. Because I assure you, they have plenty of gold.
Tony
We are
nods
but
along.
emissaries. Boss says all in Sylvan.
Tony nods along unknowingly.
Roll persuasion.
Can I guidance myself during this long speech?
That's fine.
Yes.
This is cheeky, but could my terrible nodding be a help?
No, I would say that's not really assisting that much.
Yeah.
+1, damn it.
Oh,
Always got to ask.
Persuasion?
never hurts to ask. Never hurts to ask.
13? 13?
13. He says, I don't know about all that. I'd prefer payment upon
How-
delivery.
What if I offer you my word as a member of Hyrsam's court?
I wouldn't
along
trust
with a
anyone
down
from
payment?
I wouldn't trust anyone from Hirsam's court as far as I could throw them.
Oh, you're one of those. You punk. Alright, fine. How much gold do you want then?
And he says, well, now, we never said gold now, did we?
Right then, what do you want as your payment? What do you deal in favors?
And he says, well, I was thinking more along the lines of, about 5,000 mithril ingots.
That's fine.
Can I ask, is
Sam.
the word for mithril in Sylvan the same
Moss is
in common?
translating all of this
Mm-hmm.
as he's saying it.
What's that? I've never heard of that.
Very
I'm thinking-
expensive.
But you want us to fetch you mithril? We're not farmers, sir. Or not farmers, miners. I don't know why I said farmers.
He says, yes, only the purest if you can.
Let's
So,
ask where we get mithril. Where we can get
Yeah.
mithril from, and who has a lot of it.
And he says,
where would we find this mithril then, sir?
Gold, they have plenty of gold. And he points over to a literal pile of, like, ingots of, like, gold that are just sitting untouched.
We also have platinum.
We do deal in platinum.
And he says, platinum's not good for weapons and armor. Eh.
So
Yeah.
he says to us, ask if like silver or copper's really rare here or something.
It's possible.
I'm grasping at straws.
Have you ever any use of silver or copper then?
And he says, no, that's common. You can find that anywhere, especially in these mountains. What about, adamantine? If you can find adamantine or mithril, those are the two that interest us at the
So we
moment.
deal in metal then. Do you have any idea of a source? Such strange payment for such a... I'm just unsure of where to begin with this, sir.
And he says, well, I hear there's a lot of mithril in the realm of winter.
Oh, send us on. Moss just rubs his forehead.
Does Moss translate all of this?
Yes, he's saying all of this as the guy says it.
Moss, ask him if there's if the guy knows anyone who would have a lot of it.
Moss says everything that Durgat says as she says it, as they say it.
And they say, oh no, if there was, they would be our supplier. But unfortunately, most people that get it are pretty greedy with it, even around these parts.
So it
And he
seems.
says, but Begneth here, and he points over at one of the other dwarves. He says, Begneth here, him and his cousin found some mithril deposits in Oslamir, right? And Begneth says, yes, Oslamir it was, but it was pretty dangerous for us. We didn't stick around. It's there.
Change isn't hard, but as we said, we're not miners. It's like it's that. Certainly, it's not like a guided. Moss just rubs his forehead. Mithril, of course. Yes, sir. We will get you your mithril.
And how much do you want again? Tali asked and Dwarvish.
Well, first, you don't even. Can you even destroy this thing?
Yeah.
And they say, well,
You're
you've...
asking for an awful lot with no proof of ability.
And he says, well, you've yet to show us what we're working with.
You haven't even asked. You just demanded payment.
Well, show us what you have, and we'll let you know.
Moss will turn to Tony.
And you can decide if the
Okay.
payment is worthy or not.
Tony mage hands the ball out of the bag because he doesn't want to accidentally touch the. Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
lifts
this
that
and
out into his hand and then
Okay.
shows them.
Accursed artifact known as the phylactery.
And he kind of like snaps his fingers and whistles to a few other dwarves who are working at anvils and say, "Hey, come here real quick and help me look at this thing." And about 4 or 5 of them come over and they kind of all huddle around it and start looking at it, and you hear them kind of talking and whispering and looking it over and seeing exactly what they're dealing with. And there's a few like murmurs and like sort of like hushed arguing for a little bit. And
Can I overhear any specifics that anyone says?
roll a perception.
Jesus, a 14 to 2.
You can overhear little bits. Basically, you hear one sort of saying, well, I mean, magic might be able to do it. What do you think if we could cast some sort of a spell on it? And the other says, no. I'm sure this has safeguards against something like that. We can get the forges hot enough to try to crack it or melt it or something. The forges here get hotter than anywhere else. And the other says, well, what if it's not just heat we need? What if heat's only part of what you have to do? And they just kind of argue back and forth like this, and eventually the one that you're speaking to comes back with the orb and says, yeah, we're pretty confident that we can destroy this.
And how much are you demanding as payment then, sir?
And he says, well, 5,000 ingots of mithril or adamantine. Your choice or mixed?
5,000 ingots? So how will we transport these to you, sir, from the far side of this continent?
And he says, oh, I'm sure you have your ways.
Jeez. This better be worth it. Moss shakes his head. Turns. Well, then we'll return then with your payment. Would you like to begin the process now? Is that possible? We'd like this thing destroyed as soon as possible.
And they say, sure, if you don't mind leaving it here, we can begin seeing what has to be done with it.
I mean, if you can get it destroyed, destroy it as soon as you can. The fate of all of the realms of existence depend on its destruction. So yes, then we will return with these ingots as soon as we can.
And he says, rush order then. All right, well, leave it here, and we'll get to work on it.
Yes, and we will return with your ingots as soon as we can.
I whisper to Moss, hey, tell him what we know about hurting it already.
Yes, and Moss repeats all of that because Moss remembers and I don't.
Yeah.
Tony
Okay.
rattles off all the stuff about magic and punching it and the healing of the cracks and stuff.
Yes, and the targeting and like not being able to target it as an object. Yeah, that's right.
And he says,
The fact that it spoke to me.
and don't forget, once you make a deal, you stick to the deal. Don't try to run away now.
Son, I've been doing this much longer than you have.
And he says, I just like to make sure people know my intentions, that's all.
Listen here, youngster. I'll be back when I'm good and ready, but you will receive your payment, and that is on the word of a member of Hyrsam's court.
And he says, well, we'll see how well that holds up then. Hopefully,
Yes, we will.
hopefully better than previous times. Anyway, we'll get to work on this thing. And he kind of like backhands the orb, like tosses it over his shoulder to one of the other dwarves that catches it.
Tony makes like the worried, like, lifts his leg up, curls into like
Moss
a
flourishes
worried
his cloak
expression.
in a big dramatic turn and walks away.
Every time they throw the orb around, Tony's like, no, don't.
And as you walk out, you hear like a loud whistle, and you just hear, all right, boys, we got work to do. Let's go. Come on.
All right, off to.
I wave.
Oh, they don't speak common, do they? I don't
Are there
trust
any
them.
Are there any pickaxes around here?
Yeah, there's a couple pickaxes like leaning up against the
Right.
wall.
Moss elbows Durgit.
How many?
I guess one for each of us.
2 for me.
Can I get a bag of holding so I can put everything in real quick?
Slink
slip it
that.
right
No,
in.
slip it back on my shoulder, and we're
Yeah.
not putting it in that bag.
You've got sticky fingers. Just slip it in there. You'll be all right. You have free
Okay.
access. You all have free access to the bag.
Okay.
Just so we're clear.
None of you have free access to my bag of holding.
But yeah, it's the
Fair.
gross one.
Ugh.
Okay,
None
I
of you know
quick.
what I have in there, so grab it.
Yeah, that's true.
So wait, you're taking a couple of the pickaxes and putting it in one of
Yeah,
the
the pla-
bags?
The plan was taking Moss bag of holding, sneaking over,
Okay.
stealing some rear five of the pickaxes.
Right. Okay. So roll stealth and sleight of hand.
Moss will cast enhance ability on Durgit.
Okay,
Rolled before I could
17.
get it out, but I did say it.
Shit.
Did my enhance ability get off because they just rolled before I could say it out loud?
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
32.
that's a 32,
32
And
total.
then-
Okay.
and then 25 for the sleight of hand.
Damn.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Durgit.
So yeah.
Moss will like high five Durgit as they go out.
Yeah, silently and stealthily, you just, grab 4 or 5 of these pickaxes that are leaning up against the stone wall and just slide them into this bag. And yeah, just out. No one saw, heard anything.
Talia, your enhance ability drops when I do that.
You guys are exiting the forge at this point and heading down the tunnel
We
to,
Yes.
to exit, or okay. You begin walking down the tunnel and get to the entrance once again and exit out. It is still nighttime too, and as you walk out, you see towards the top of the mountain, there's an opening at the top from where it seems like previously a volcano, and you can see the red glow coming out from the top of it, and reflecting off of the top of the rocks up there.
All right, well, Adi's out, but just give me an hour. I can get my wings back out and I can fly us south, and hopefully we can find Hirsam's camp before we turn in for the night.
We will stay for a month.
Well, actually, you know what? Before I do that, let me, and he will pop a squat and go ahead and just take a wild shot with a scry at Hyrsam using the viol. So Hyrsam needs to make a wisdom save.
Okay.
At -5, and
That's fine.
then
Oh, he rolled a 2.
minus-
Yeah, he rolled a 2.
9.
So
Oh,
yeah. He
Oh,
rolled
yeah.
a 2. Fail. So yeah, as you scry on here you see that it is also nighttime where he's at, and it seems to be a very similar place to where he was before. It is very verdant green, and there are lots of freshly bloomed flowers and plants and trees in the area.
I'm gonna take in as much of the foliage and plants and the makeup of what's around them as possible.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out the area and see if I can
Mm-hmm.
since I spent so much time, see if I can figure out which island he's on, where he's at.
Yeah, the foliage itself, it seems like the big elephant ear plants.
Mhm.
There's some of those. There's some that are very fern-like. There's others where it's a single stalk coming out of the ground and goes into almost a swirl pattern and curls in on itself.
Is he set up, or is he walking? Is he camping, or is he still moving?
No, currently he is at some sort of celebration. There are floating light orbs around, and you see a lot of female satyrs and many Leonin guards, it seems not paladins so much, but heavy guards. And you see him, it seems like he's heading on one of the satyrs at the moment, and you see the figure of a very tall Eladrin, old looking even for one of his kind, come into the frame and begin to shoo Hyrsam away
Do I recognize this Eladrin?
roll history.
14.
Yes, it is Lord Siegfried Spring Blossom, the ruler of the Spring Court.
Ruler of the Spring Court. Can I tell from the foliage of where he is in the circumstances? Is Hyrsam in this man's like abode, or is this person that's of the court of spring visiting him in the realm of autumn?
I would say from what you've gathered, it seems like he is in the realm of spring.
He's in the realm of spring.
Yeah,
Do I know?
the way everything is blossoming and just overall the way it looks, it definitely looks like spring.
So this Siegfried person, do I know where he is in charge of?
Yes, his abode is in Lantorin.
Lantorin. So how long did it take me to get from Revirin to Borothean?
I would say about 4 hours.
4 hours, so it'd be about 8 hours to get to Lantorin.
Yeah, roughly.
It's a long day, but we can do it. We can make that flight. So we can assume that's where he is at the moment.
Mhm.
Does anything specific happen in the 10 minutes? Here's some just being a fucker flirting with a bunch of women. Drinking.
And you do see some of the Leonin guards actually grab Hyrsam and drag him away, seemingly at the behest of Lord Siegfried.
Oh Lord, does he come to? Does he? Am I in there long enough to see him get thrown out? And if he gets thrown out, what does he do after?
I would say you see him like get dragged off, but you don't really see where to or like what the outcome is of what happened.
Damn. All right. Well, then I will very hurriedly open my eyes and just be like, all right, we need to move. All right, and then wings, and then and then wing down for everyone to get on.
Oh, yes. Tony has been
Yeah, let's go.
considering how he can make a pickaxe into a hand. Listen, it's a
Okay. So yeah,
small brain.
you guys are loading up and heading to Lantorin.
Yes.
Okay.
Apparently.
All right. So yeah, you get onto Moss and take off from Borothean, the continent in the realm of autumn, and head over Revirin, where you had started out at, and cross over that peninsula. And the sun is beginning to rise now and crest the horizon.
Oh, that's a pretty view.
And as it does, the green from the water below you begins to fade. And as the sun rises, the water itself begins to change as well and is still like a perfect reflection of the sky above.
Ooh.
And it's hard to tell if they're one and the same or if it's just a reflection.
Flying sea monsters.
And you keep going and you see the very large singular mountain peak in the middle of Lantorin begin to form across the horizon. You
Do I
see
know
it.
where this fellow's abode is?
Roll
it's
another
in there.
history.
Yeah. This is important. 19.
19? Okay. His abode is in Tarathiel.
We will go there.
So, yeah, you guys continue making your way over to Tarathian. As you approach the realm of spring and you approach Tarathiel, it is not so much a city as you fly in. You see that in the midst of these blossoming trees and blossoming plants, there is this singular granite mountain that is jutting out from the middle of the continent. And within that mountain, there are veins of crystal. Large, clear crystals. And this palace is carved entirely out of these natural crystals that are built into this mountain.
Do I see any short ginger satyrs on this crystal palace?
Roll investigation. I will say that these are very large, and there are multiple,
Okay.
almost like nature-themed courtyards at different levels.
Can I, instead of investigating, can I try to get a broader perspective and see if I can find a yard that has similar plantage to the one I saw when I was scrying on Hyrsam?
Yes, roll another investigation.
Can someone help me on my back?
Yes,
I was gonna say if you want.
Yes.
Talia, thank God.
I
Can
I can.
Can I assist Talia and give Talia advantage?
I mean, you would have to describe to me what you saw first, but then
That's fine. Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
No, my assistance is giving you advantage, Talia.
oh, okay.
And
Yes,
then
right.
There you go.
I do investigation.
I don't know if Moss was specifying
50.
short ginger satyrs
Oh, thank you, man.
because it was the ones he saw, or if that's just his type.
I would say, going off of what Moss described, you don't see a court resembling that specifically as you look
I
around.
yell, no!
And Moss will just do kind of like a flyby, and I guess just do a lookout as quickly, as vastly as he can for people that look like Hyrsam that are currently being escorted out of places.
Also,
I mean, we've been flying for a while, right?
Oh,
Also-
true.
also,
Sorry, yes.
sorry, to clarify as well, in the courtyards there are like people. There's like people hanging out and drinking and doing their thing.
Yeah.
Like each one is like filled with people. I say people like in the general sense, not just humans, but
Yes.
you know.
Wait, are there humans?
No,
No.
not that you've seen.
Other than Tony. Tony, you see Tony.
Okay,
I
yeah.
feel like an alien.
Moss, roll a dexterity save for me.
Whoa, alright. 20.
Okay. As you're flying around the courtyard, you see a blast of energy come from one of the guard towers surrounding the wall of this courtyard, or of this crystal mountain castle. And it just comes from like one of the random guard towers, and it's just this huge like bolt of energy that just gets shot your way. And
Moss will fly straight up.
and it goes a little
Triple
bit
move.
wide. Okay.
Get way out of their range.
Tony reactively wants to go a planned dropkick, but restrains himself.
Yeah, you are now 160 feet in the air in 6 seconds. So.
It seems to have been a warning shot because there are no follow-up shots after you get
yeah,
out of their
sure.
sight or range.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, buddy. Your shot sucks.
Can I visually see anyone? Tower.
From 160 feet up, I don't know. Roll perception
No.
or investigation, your choice.
Can I roll perception?
Sure.
Yes. 22.
Okay. You do see that there are a couple of very large Leonin guards who are in one of the watchtowers, and they have a contraption that looks similar to a ballista, one of the giant like mounted crossbows, and it seems like the arcane blast came from that.
Can I minor illusion a peace symbol in the air just below us, so they can see it looking up?
Roll a religion check.
A religion check. I'm proficient in religion. When I
Can I
find it.
assist?
If you'd like to, yeah.
17.
Okay. So, you know that the universal sign for peace is the symbol of a monk who started a monastery very high up in the Atlas Mountains of Udar. And this peace symbol is the branch of a fern tree with two birds flying like across it.
And I represent this symbol.
I'm gonna do a flyby at a wide berth, but not too close that they're in range, but close enough that they can see.
There is not another shot, but they're also still standing manned at this contraption as well.
Is there a front gate?
There is, yeah. At the very foot of the mountain, there is a winding stone footpath that crosses through like a natural stone gate that was built to kind of form around the mountains, so the mountains act as natural barriers and walls. But there is a gateway through those, and it goes up this stone pathway into the main keep.
With Tony still holding the peace sign, Moss will fly us down into that, to that gate. And if the gate's big enough, he'll just stay in the form, so that way he can make the travel go faster, and we don't just have to walk up a bunch of fucking stairs. The
Okay.
stairs suck.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, as you do this, 2 of the Leonin guards begin walking out of the main gate into the palace, and they're holding 2 crossbows, and they don't have them aimed at you, but they have them at the ready, and they approach you and say in Sylvan, "Who are you and what are you doing here? Why are you circling our city?"
Moss knocks his head and speaks to Tony, and as Tony speak, what Moss says.
I say in common the following.
Well, shit, and Moss will just quick
shit.
drop. Quick drop, and everyone falls to the ground.
Ah,
You just heard Tony say, "Oh shit," and then blood collapsed.
Moss will dust off his legs. Says, in Sylvan, "Apologies, friends. I am Machina Sylvom. I am a member of Hyrsam's cult, searching for my master, Hyrsam."
And they say, "Allies of Hyrsam," and they raise their crossbows at you and say, "What is your business here?"
Moss drops into a readied stance. "I am here to remove him from your premises, if you would allow me."
He is to stand trial for his crimes. He's going nowhere.
what is it? What are his crimes against humanity or
crime?
something?
His crimes are against the Spring Court. He's woken an ancient enemy of ours, all as a prank. And now,
Does
Is
sound
Moss
him.
still translating?
Yes, everything that's said.
Talia
translates.
gives Moss a really concerned look.
Can
And-
we get? Can we say that Talia can act as his lawyer or something?
Excuse
his
me,
head.
I don't have any law practice.
You
Let
have
the-
persuasion skills.
Let the god speak.
it's because of him the Olafaren has awoken again. Every life in this palace is in danger.
What?
The Olafaren, I will put it in Discord for you.
I look to Moss like,
Do I know what this Olafaren is? Have I heard tales of this?
Roll a history check.
Yeah, 13.
You have not heard of it.
have I heard of it? And like some kind of terrifying bedtime story?
Roll history as well.
Damn.
10?
Yeah.
No.
Hey Moss, can you ask what the Olafaren is?
So then, if this Olafaren were to fall, then Hyrsam would be freed because this thing would have been gone and it's no harm to you, correct? What is this Olafaren? Where is it?
And he says, if only it were that easy. This is only one of multiple crimes he's...
Tell him we're heroes.
Is it,
We
I
can
don't think
sa-
they
we can
care for
solve
the
their
fact that we're
problem.
heroes
He
of
says,
the material plane.
He says that time and time again, he's insulted and offended our lord.
Yeah, but like,
this, you're in, whatever, okay. We, at the very least, can help undo a wrong that seems to be particularly damaging, if possible. First, tell what is this Olafaren? What is it?
And he says, it's a terrible reptilian serpentine destroyer of worlds. It's bigger than any city you've ever seen and can devour markets of people in one bite.
And he's freed that thing for a prank?
Moss just kind of like turns around and looks over this like vast landscape in the mountains. He just doesn't see is there a giant snake monster roaming through the countryside?
Not that you can see.
Moss turns back to the guard. Is this dude like shitting me? Is he being legit?
Roll insight.
13. God.
As far
Can
as
I
you
roll
can...
inside?
Sure. Moss, as far as you can tell, he's being truthful.
The hell? Moss just scratching his head.
Before Talia rolls, may I? Oh, well, there. May I
Still-
also?
Oh, damn it. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, Talia, nothing really sets off as odd. And
we're just not allowed to know.
and Jamila is just hanging at the very back of the group and like comes to the front like, huh? What?
Can I tell the 17?
He seems to be telling the truth. He seems to be honest. He at least believes what he's telling you, whether it's true or not. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
There we go.
So where is this thing? Can you ask that?
Yes, I have, and he just won't tell. Where is this Olefarin then?
And he says, deep in the earth. It's probably below us as we speak.
Is that fiend thing we saw?
No, that's on the other plane. Shouldn't be here.
Tell him we could like help them if they let us in, maybe.
But I mentioned that. But like, if we were able to offer our assistance in the aid of favors, we are good on our word. We are already on our way to Olimar. Was it Oslamir? If you have any need of things done there, at the very least, perhaps we could get that done, or something you need done in the meantime that we could perhaps work in order to at least gain Hyrsam's freedom and work
No,
through a
don't-
debt perhaps that he owes you.
Don't mention that yet.
And he says, his fate is not my say. I'm just a guard. You'll have to speak to Lord Siegfried about this.
I would
We'll
also
at
like
least
to do
allow
that. Yes.
we'll at least allow you to parley and speak with him.
Him, Lord Siegfried, or him, Hyrsam?
Lord Siegfried. Hyrsam is a prisoner.
Would I be able to speak to Hyrsam so I could get a full scope of what this fucker has done? Because clearly he's an idiot.
And he says if Lord Siegfried sees it fit for you to speak to him, then yes, you'll be allowed to.
That is fair, and I completely understand, good sir. I do appreciate it.
And he says, now follow me, and all of you stay close. And
Also lean heavy on his stick and stand with his chest a little bit more out than usual.
okay.
Tali's a little bit sunken and she's like, they're scary. She says this in common. They don't understand common. They're scary.
I
Yeah,
take
I've been
Talia's
telling you
hand.
this.
I wrap my arm around Durga, like full on.
Tony's like a crazy guy with like wall scrawlings and like pins on the wall. Like, see, I told you. You're terrifying.
And you guys follow this guard escort up this pathway to the entrance of this crystal palace in this mountain. And you go in, and when you first walk in, it is an open, large foyer. And there is a set of stairs that leads up into another room that is very open. And as you walk in, you can see there is a throne with a very, very old looking Eladrin sitting in it. His skin beginning to wrinkle just ever so slightly. His nose becoming much more sort of poignant and pointed over time. His eyes.
Do I know how old Eladrin usually lived to be?
Roll a history check.
A lot of history tonight. 6.
You know a long time, but you don't know specifically.
Do I have a ballpark? Like anything? Like,
Oh.
yeah, he's old as shit, but like elves are like 900. Are they older than elves?
I mean, you can assume that it's either as long or longer than elves.
As long, okay, damn, he might be getting close to me then.
And you can see that on his face, it's almost like a permanent scowl. His eyebrows are an almost perpetual state of anger, it seems like. Very furrowed and wrinkled, and his eyes are very narrowed and very steely. And the guard comes in and says, my lord Siegfried, there are allies of Hyrsam here to parley with you. And Lord Siegfried kind of sits a little bit straighter and looks at you. His
Moss bows extremely deeply.
Mm.
Very
Talia does too, out of
right
respect and
hand to
fear.
the stomach, left hand out, left foot back, right foot forward, head very low.
Yeah.
He attempts this.
Yeah, Talia
He
too.
looks funny.
I just
Um,
stand there until someone specifically tells me to do that too.
Moss puts a hand on your back and slowly pushes you down.
And
And,
Jamila
I
will
guess.
also bow.
And the whole time you do this, he just looks at you with a very cold, emotionless stare. It seems to almost just penetrate your entire being, and says, allies of Hyrsam, what brings you here?
Moss slowly raises his head and allows the other hands off Durgat back and has the others raise. I was hoping to seek an audience with my old friend. I understand that apparently he's made quite a few mistakes recently. That's nothing new, unfortunately. I understand if you do what needs to be done, you're called. But I was hoping I would at least be able to seek an audience.
And he says, were you not the ones circling my palace earlier?
I was trying to get a lay of the land. I haven't been on this side of the island in quite some time. I apologize. That was actually me, quite literally.
And where are you from? Most people in these lands know better than to come to my court uninvited.
Well, if I'm honest with you, sir, I've been away for quite some time. My head's still a bit jumbled about the intricacies of court. I do apologize. I'm a bit feral as of late. Me and my friends here come from the material plane, actually.
And he says, the material plane.
Indeed.
You are not welcome in this court.
They ask why, sir. I am a denizen of here, but my friends are not.
I do not trust material realmers.
Why?
Moss is
I'm assuming Moss
translating.
is translating.
Yeah.
Moss is translating. He does not translate anything you all say.
And
at this moment.
he does not break eyesight with Moss and says, because I have my reasons.
That is fair.
And that's
I
being
ask-
more than generous.
I ask not for the sake of them, but for the sake of me. I have a debt to repay to this man. At the very least, if I could make myself of use to you, sir.
And how do you think you could do that? I have the finest warriors on the Feywild.
And indeed, I have the finest wars of the material plane. So if there are any jobs that perhaps you thought too dangerous or challenging, perhaps something that you needed done but didn't want to risk your own people, I promise me and my friends are more than capable. Especially if it would help earn Hyrsam a bit more leniency with your ruling, sir.
And he says, well, now that might be interesting. If you can rectify this problem that your master Hyrsam created, then I suppose we could consider some sort of leniency.
Moss gives a very, very deep bow. Thank you, sir. Thank you. What do you need? Point us in a direction and we shall act.
This creature lies below the earth, burrowed down to the Shadowfell. Even now as we speak, it digs and burrows and tunnels. It'll burrow up from the Shadowfell and destroy this entire palace. Every person in here is at risk. If you can somehow destroy this creature, then leniency shall be considered.
Moss grips his staff and rises his head from his bow.
Can I ask, has Moss relayed this information word for word?
Yes.
The Shadowfell? What?
What is the Shadowfell?
Yeah,
Also,
fuck!
Moss puts his hand on Tony's shoulder and stares him in the eye.
Tony stops flipping out.
You are in cult. Breathe.
Tony, what the fuck is the Shadowfell out, and how do we get there?
We will fill you in a moment, and Moss will turn to Siegfried. Would you be able to grant us access to the Shadowfell?
And he says, yes, there are paths that lead to it, easily accessible in the area.
Would you be able to grant me and my friends a night of rest before we begin our journey? It has been a rather long day of travel for us, unfortunately, after some bad news.
He waves his hand and says, good luck in the Shadowfell. Come back when you've finished this task. And looks at the guards and says, we're done here. Escort them out.
Boss rises. Follows the guards.
Okay. As you walk out, the guards kind of poke and prod you along and say, you're quite lucky. Lord Siegfried usually doesn't take to material realmers.
Tony tries to keep us cool.
Talia keeps her also keeps her cool, but it's very, very close to just throwing some kind of snappy remark or phase at someone.
I'm more of like, that's fair. I can see that.
And they march you to the front gate and out, and the gate closes behind you.
At the very moment the gate closes, the shadow.
So
Tony,
fucking
explanation. What is the Shadowfell? To me, it just sounds like a shadow just kind of lives there, so I don't think that's accurate, yes?
Tony like walks off, like pacing into the distance for a moment, going, the shadow, and then comes pacing back like shadow. Walks to the Shadowfell.
Talia grabs Tony by the shoulders, shakes him a little, slaps him a little on the helmet. Tony, we need an explanation.
Oh god. Tony's like leant over for a moment, like one moment, like he's about to be a bit sick. The Shadowfell. the Shadowfell.
Tony, this is the only word, or the only words you have said for like 3 minutes. Can you give us an explanation as to why? Moss, what's the Shadowfell?
Boss kind of scratches his head. If I'm honest, I don't know too much either.
Tony,
it's like the nightmare. It's like the Underdark of here, but it's worse.
It's like a worse place to go than death. Like imagine dying, and then imagine the Shadowfell, and that's.
I've never died before, so this description is very unhelpful.
You've never been to the Shadowfell, and that's how I'd prefer to keep it.
Okay, on a scale of like, are there snakes? Is it? I don't know.
There's dragons. There's
what do I know?
dragon
What do I know
people,
of the Shadowfell?
There's.
Roll history.
It's literally the place where all terrifying eldritch demonic beings of death and destruction come from.
18. Nice. Okay. So yeah, you do know that similar to how the Feywild itself is like a twisted, distorted reflection of the material realm, also is the Shadowfell to the Underdark. You know that some of the most terrible beings in the existence of the Feywild have come from the Shadowfell.
and we're supposed to defeat a thing from there.
There's one thing
Well, he's
worse
not-
than Fae, and there's one
he's
thing
not-
worse than fiends, and it's Aber-fucking-Ration.
It's not from there. That's just where he went. Well, he might be from there, and he's old. It's possible. It's just a giant worm. What's so bad? We can kill that.
Shades, shadows, nightshades, there's... the Shadowfell!
You seem
Well,
to...
well, first of all, Mosswell, are there guards out here? Are there guards that
they're
are walking
like...
away?
They're like standing at the front of the gate on the outside, but they're not like following you or anything.
Yeah, no. Mosswell reapproach one of the guards at the gate. It's like, your master promised us passage to the Shadowfell. This was a part of our bargain.
And he says, the master will send someone when he's ready.
That's right.
So do we just wait here?
We'll be at the inn then, sir. Moss will turn, flourishing his coat again.
Your
Okay.
local inn, the last place I will reside before going to the literal embodiment of decay and death. Shadowfell. What good is Shadowfell?
I mean, this doesn't sound worse than Wintervale. I'm gonna be
is
real with
there
you.
a local? Is there anywhere to stay nearby?
Nearby, no.
No.
No, the court of spring is like the main civilization on this landmass.
Where would he like to send word then, sir? He yells over to the guard.
And he says, "The master will find you, don't worry."
Make it quick. And Moss will bust the wings out and put his wing down.
I mean, couldn't we just like camp right in front of the door out of spite?
I get on our way.
Yeah,
I
me
mean,
too.
same, I guess.
I mean, you could always try.
Well,
That never means anything good.
he said they'll find us. Fuck it. Sorry, I meant
But okay, so Moss transforms into the
I'll
Ketsu.
take off to the northern end of the continent and start making our way to the farther side, as far as I can get today, until we get to Oslamir.
Okay. So yeah, you begin heading that direction, and I would say that you probably get to the tip of Tavith on the like where the lower mountain peak is, that little like peninsula that sticks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that you probably get to about there and would have to make camp. As you get into Tavith, it is drastically different than Lantorin. The land itself is very fertile, and it seems to be the main hub of where agriculture is in this area. Everywhere you look, there is a field of some kind of crop, whether it be plants or trees. And this is a very agriculture-rich area.
Moss just flies in a straight line, very determined. Bit faster than usual. Very impatient right now.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you would get to like that furthermost peninsula on Tavith, and that's probably where you would have to camp.
Yeah, he will land there, and then he'll just wait an hour. He'll take a short rest, wait an hour. After the hour, he'll be able to transform into a badger, which then he can make us the dirt hut.
Okay.
Over the
Oh,
Yeah.
Talia also polymorphs into a small, medium. You know.
You know what?
Badger.
That's also true. And Moss will just polymorph and save the hour.
Mm. Yeah.
I'm a large tally ring. She found that fun last time.
Nice.
Yeah.
But
And,
while I'm doing it, I'm still pacing back and forth, mumbling about how terrible the Shadowfell is.
Talia is like digging kind of aggressively because she's really pissed off with how these assholes treated them.
Jamila will like try and calm Tony down by like saying like it's okay, and like climbing like up to his shoulder and like shaking his head from like his shoulder.
You end up just shaking the helmet.
I mean, I have to say, for something that needs to be stopped as soon as possible, he sure sells fine with letting us go and go somewhere else. He's not hurrying.
And Jamila like running out of ideas, like that little, you know how like do the clicks and purrs.
You were cutting out really bad right there. I couldn't understand
Talking
you.
About how cats
Oh,
do,
sorry.
like, the clicks and purrs.
Yeah, so like clicks and purrs,
Uh-huh.
sort of like a dragon or a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Or like even I think whatchamacallsums do it too. The color changing lizards.
Chameleons.
Chameleons.
Yeah, chameleons.
My brain said iguana. That's funny.
But so she's just sort of gonna start purring. Try and calm
Tony will
Tony.
drown this out by going, dragons, but like zombie dragons. Like, could you think of something worse than dragons? Yeah, zombie fuck.
Tony, please slow down a little bit and go into a bit more detail. We have no idea what's under there, and I would like to be prepared.
Tony keeps rambling until the base is finished.
That's incredibly unhelpful. Thank you.
Alright, well, we make camp and do our watches for the night. Moss will sit up top as per usual.
Talia just sits with him for the first watch because she's really pissed off.
I'll do the second watch.
Okay. All right. So as you take your watch, go ahead and roll perception.
We can contest Talia for first.
16.
21.
21. Oh yeah, for Moss. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is relatively quiet. Unlike the realm of summer, the days here are much shorter, so it is a fairly normal day-night cycle, and your watch goes by uneventfully.
Important question: is the temperature okay now? Like not boiling hot like in the realm of summer?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right now the temperature feels pretty good. It's like the most perfect spring day you've ever felt. Imagine it like that.
Okay.
As Talia's watch finishes, I assume you're going to bed. Talia's gonna come knock on your door again.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna lean around the door, and then he's gonna lean a chessboard around the door. Give you a bit of a grin.
Sure.
Talia comes and sits down and puts all the pieces down. You make the first move.
Okay. She makes the first move. I don't know how to play chess.
And
I
then,
know.
and then Tony says, "Horse, move forward."
The horses don't move forward in chess.
And the
Horse E3.
and the horse slides forward.
That's so cool.
I know.
Can I do that
Horses
too?
don't slide
Yeah.
forward. They make it jump.
Move forward.
And it goes forward, slides very slowly.
I point to one of the pawns. I say, "Roger, go forward."
Roger.
And it moves forward.
What that means? Oh, I love that.
Tony de-stresses for another half an hour, just telling chess pieces to move, not really knowing how to play chess.
I just imagine you like talking to the chess pieces. The shadow fell.
I know.
I like to imagine the chess pieces don't even like follow the rules. They just listen to where Tony tells them to go.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Doesn't matter if it's wrong or right. It just goes where you say.
Knights moving like rooks, bishops moving like queens.
Yeah.
Rules out
I
the
can-
window.
I can just imagine like Durga and Moss sitting outside and they just silent, like just in distance hear what they're saying.
And we just hear Tony going like,
Like-
pew.
Queen,
Why?
go
I thought
go
they
kill
played
their
chess.
horse.
Yes, and yes, Durgat and Moss for second watch.
Oh, you have to roll
Moss in his,
perception.
Moss in his meditative state. You can just assist me if you like.
I will do that.
Yes,
Okay. So yeah,
with advantage. Sorry, 20.
20. Okay. Yeah, and your watch also goes by uneventfully. This
Beautiful.
seems like a relatively peaceful area. Populated, but not like established big cities. It's populated, but it's very much like a farming sort of area. And it seems to extend for the entirety of Tavith.
Jamila or Tony?
Tony's already up playing chess, so
Jamila
be
will
up
also
all
take a
night?
watch.
no,
we
he
only need
played
one more
chess for like
watch.
half an hour.
I thought
One
we were
more
only
watch.
doing 2 watches, my bad.
Is it 2 watches? I thought we usually do 3.
Well, it's last time.
Yeah, we're just trying out
2
doing the 2 watches. I don't know. I
2
mean,
watches, huh?
do you? Yeah, I guess we
I'm
didn't
down for
really.
2.
I didn't really. I guess we didn't really talk about it. So, what do you guys prefer? 2 watches or 3?
I just did 3 because
2.
that's what we always did. I'm fine with 2.
Yeah, I'm
think
also
I
fine with 2.
prefer
2 is, I think, better.
It's just the
Personally.
most efficient, just having a set number, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think it's fine. I mean,
Didn't we used to have four
we have a
watchers?
person that doesn't sleep and a person that sleeps half the time, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just divided up nicely.
Yeah, that's how it goes. I think we're good.
Okay. So yeah, we'll do 2 watches then. And yeah, the night ends and the day comes, and like I said before, it's a relatively normal day-night cycle. So the sun rises when your body feels it should.
Moss today having a bit of some different things prepared. Will go ahead and do a commune with nature in the morning just to kind of get a vibe for what's going on around him. Do it cast as a ritual. He'll do it from within his room. Like he'll come downstairs after the last watch and take some time in his room, the 10 minutes.
Okay.
So within 3 miles, I'll do powerful celestial fae, fiends, elementals, undead, buildings, I guess, and then prevalent plants and minerals, animals, or people.
Okay.
Minerals, ooh, that'll be good.
Yeah. So you do get a ping from a structure, buildings.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't seem like it's coming from the land.
So within the water?
Mm-hmm.
Within 3 miles?
Yeah.
All right. I will fly in that direction when we go over the water.
Okay.
And at that, Moss will wake up, do his stretch, and then
Burst into Ketso.
Tony'll get up like, do we not want
Oh god,
like,
man. Those yawns sound way too real. Makes me want to yawn.
That was a real yawn.
Hey, Moss.
Yawning is like the only bit of
Breakfast.
voice acting I get to do. Okay, I take pride in it. Okay. Alright.
It's like stairs going up, and then it just keeps going up to a wing.
I just keep walking completely like slowly. Stairs to wing.
You guys get on to Moss.
That I do.
Okay, no breakfast, I guess.
Yes, Moss is skipping breakfast to rush.
I was gonna suggest, but we can have breakfast after.
True.
And then poof,
Okay.
Mach speed over to Oslamir.
Okay. Yeah. And you go the rest of the way. It takes about roughly 4 to 5 hours. And as you get over in that direction, you see that it is a relatively flat area with a very, very large chain of mountains that kind of clusters in the center of it.
Did they give me a general area on where, or did they just say over there?
Well, they said the mountains over there, so
The mountains? Okay, so I will go towards them as middle of the mountains as I can get. If I can spot minerals from the air, I will try to, but I'll just try to find like a suitable landing area in the middle.
okay. Yeah. So you find a relatively flat spot to land.
Yeah, and I will do another commune with nature. This time mainly focusing on the minerals.
Okay.
But I will also do buildings and we'll say the powerful celestial fae, fiends, elementals, or undead.
Okay. You do pick up a ping from Elemental.
Elemental. What direction?
Directly ahead of you, it seems like.
Can I tell how far?
Within 3 miles.
Just that it is within 3 miles.
Mm-hmm. You also get a ping from a large body of water also ahead of you. You do get that it is within 3 miles of you, and it is closer than 3. So it's somewhere
Within the 3.
before
Okay.
before the 3. It's less than 3 miles ahead of you is basically like what I'm saying, I suppose.
Yeah. Do I get any pings for minerals, specifically mithril or adamantine?
Yeah, you do get several pings for mithril ahead of you.
Ahead of me, with closer than the ping of this powerful elemental.
About the same distance.
All right, then I guess we'll go back to bird to try to see if we can spot it ahead. So then, poof, wings back out
Oh.
immediately.
Okay. Yeah, so you take bird form, and I assume you just kind of fly over the mountains and around and stuff.
Yeah, Moss gives a knock so that way he can tell Tony to tell everyone else what he
Yeah.
felt in his
I
meditation.
I relay that information somewhat perfectly.
Okay. So yeah, flying over the mountains, it is a typical rocky mountain chain, but you don't see any bodies of water. You don't see any lakes or anything in the mountain range.
Any specifically like rocky areas or rocks that seem out of place?
From looking above, no. Everything seems like granite mountain.
No, then I will
The-
just go to the area where I felt the densest population of mithril.
You are in it.
I will go down then and find a thing of mithril to mine.
My message must be like, there's like an underwater lake. I mean, an underground lake, like, by the sounds of it.
Can I see any caves?
Roll perception or investigation, your choice.
Perception, 21.
Okay. Looking around, you do see more towards the center of where the mountain ranges are. There seems to be like a large cave opening.
Large enough for me to fly into?
It would
15
probably,
feet?
it'd be like a tight fit, but probably, yeah.
Moss will just fly and then walk in. He'll land out front and then walk in, but stay in the bird form and keep everyone on his back.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more comfortable being feral here.
Okay. Yeah, and as you do, you walk into the cave entrance, and it is full of stalactites and stalagmites and very, very large fungus that is illuminating the inside of the cave. All different colors. There are blue ones, there are red ones, there are purple ones, there are green ones, and it kind of overall gives like a purple hue to the inside of the cave. On top of the mushrooms, there are also plants and trees growing within this cave. It's like its own biome inside of it, with its own plant life and flora and fauna, it seems.
Ooh, can I pick a mushroom?
Sure.
Neat.
Are
I will-
you going for a specific colored one, or
Of course I am. It's a blue mushroom.
blue? Yeah, I figured. I
I
had
wasn't
a
gonna
feeling.
specify until you mentioned. But if you're gonna let me, it's gonna be a blue mushroom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just as a safekeeping of this journey.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You can have a blue mushroom, I suppose,
Nice.
if you must.
I'll keep it in one of my many boxes.
Mm-hmm. Do these mushrooms seem edible?
Roll a nature check.
There's a difference between edible and Jamila edible.
Where's nature? Here it is. 15.
As far as being edible, like you can put it in your mouth and chew it, yeah, totally. As far as the nature of what it might taste like or the effect, you have no idea.
Are there
Okay.
any of the green acid mushrooms we found in that one grave thing in Udar? I need to refill my acid.
These don't seem to be like a green color. These seem to be more of like a whitish blue, bright luminescent.
Can I, like, from a medicinal perspective, tell which of these would be poisonous or acidic?
Roll a nature check.
Nah, 6.
Hard to tell. I mean, a good rule of thumb, if it's glowing, probably don't eat it. But at the same time, who knows?
But that means feed it to someone
Jamila,
else.
you see Jamila trims and start sniffing it and like slowly like open her mouth. And...
I
Moss,
slowly.
like, grabs Jamila by the collar and picks her up.
We're still on your back.
Reaches up with the claw, pulls her off.
Okay.
Like, away from all the plants.
Yeah.
Cradles her, walks with 3.
Okay.
And she's like, "Oh, I wanted to try the mushrooms."
Moss shakes the big bird head and continues through the cave.
Out of curiosity, I just go up to one of the glowing mushrooms and cut it open to see what happens.
Man, if you were gonna say touch it, I would.
I'm
have
not
made
going to touch it. I want to
Just
see
fucking
the
eat it.
acidic.
Okay. A very thick, sappy liquid comes out of it, and as you cut it and the liquid drains out, the mushroom begins to lose its bioluminescence.
Does the liquid do anything? Like, is it like a bit of, I don't know, something would indicate that it would eat through the ground?
It doesn't do that, but it continues to glow even after it spills onto the ground.
I'm gonna pick so many of these mushrooms. Can I like fill a chest that is definitely empty with mushrooms?
Sure. Yeah.
How many chests do you have?
Nice. I have a lot of chests.
Yeah.
Every time we've gotten a reward from like a high king or council member or like a certain baron, I've taken the
Empty
chest every time.
chest. Yeah, we empty the chest and then he keeps it.
Yeah.
Puts on a chain, wraps it around. It's hysterical.
So yeah, I will fill a chest with these mushrooms for my devious plans.
Okay.
He has a bag of
Oh,
holding,
God.
by the way.
This keeps them organized. And I'm
Right?
not having them near that thing.
You haven't changed the art yet. I see. That I drew for you, Corn.
What?
the
Oh
pumpkin.
yeah, I haven't. We do need to change to that. Really.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just figured for now this'll work.
Because we don't have
I've
a
already
token
made him
yet.
such a nice, such a nice drawing.
Did you make it a token yet, though? Because it needs to be
I
a
have not
token.
made it a token yet.
Yeah. So we'll do it for next session.
Yeah. Okay.
Good. Too
Yeah.
bad. I'm very proud of that artwork.
Yeah, because I couldn't remember because I knew that you were working on one, but I didn't know if you had finished it yet or not.
I think I sent it in the art channel actually.
You did. I will pen it
Where is
for
art?
later.
But
Onward.
yeah. You are now within this large open cavern, and there is loose gravel, piles of like gravelly dirt in different places. It seems like people have been digging here and kind of testing out where any precious metals might be. And given how shallow and frequent the holes are around here, it's probably safe to assume, like right here in this first opening part, they didn't find too much.
Oh, so this is like the mine area right here.
Yeah, I mean
where
this.
the veins are.
Yeah, I mean this is just like a general representation of the mine. Yeah.
Yeah. So Moss will, if we're like looking for mithril now, Moss will pop out of the bird form.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because you are within the cavern now.
Yeah. So he'll go down to him. He will cast dark vision on himself.
Okay. So, roll investigation to begin looking for some mithril.
Moss will assist Talia and give her guidance.
And
Oh, thanks.
Jamila will also start looking.
Tony will grab a pickaxe in each hand and be ready.
Oh, I do.
14.
Moss
Okay.
will also take a
Let's say
pickaxe.
we
I will also take a pickaxe.
Moss just hands out pickaxes.
cool.
Okay.
Dig it? Want to take a stab?
At what?
Finding
Or
some
a
mithril?
pick.
Oh. Sure.
What do those orc eyes see?
I don't know what does mithril look like.
Yeah, look for. You'll notice it when you see it.
The most brilliant silver you've ever seen. Your roll is 69. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Does that mean I get an auto
Nice.
success?
That thing is like the
Nice.
mega 69. That's awesome. But no, it's
Yeah,
not a
can I
success. Sorry.
Wide 69.
Scam.
But yeah, I would say that you guys look around and you do find like very small traces of mithril. Very small, like almost grains of sugar sized traces of it.
But they might lead to more.
They very well could.
Can a big Tony fit in this cavern?
Yes.
Nice. In that case,
How tall is Big Tony? It's like 10 feet, right?
It's like 12, I think.
Yes, you would. Yeah, you would.
Nice. In that case,
Yeah, because I was a 15-foot bird and I fit.
yeah,
Uh,
it's growing time.
The cavern itself, like the mouth of it, it starts out, it's like probably 35 feet tall and like 20 feet wide. And as you go in and come into this large chamber, like this chamber is large. It's, easily a quarter mile in
Okay.
diameter.
Jesus.
In that case, I will grow. But still, warn everyone, remember, we're probably not safe. This
And,
is a Feywild cavern.
and you do see tunnels leading off in different directions further into the cavern.
My pickaxes grow with me, which is nice. So I have big pickaxes now. I don't know if that means anything. The mining of mithril, but They're big.
Pickaxe.
yeah, I'll start mining into the ground where the fleeting bits of mithril are. See if there's any more deeper.
So you dig down where the fleeting sort of smaller bits of mithril are, and dig down, and it is fairly rocky, but you don't find any bigger traces of it.
Oh, that is a shame. Looks like we will need to go deeper into the cave. I mean, not just dig straight down.
Like in Minecraft.
I'm sure it'll work out, but just don't fall into lava.
So we will go further into the cave. I look
Yes,
at the
and
group.
We will
Yeah.
keep an eye out for mines of mithril as we venture deeper. But also, no, I will keep an eye out for things, and you guys keep an eye out for mithril.
Okay.
Specifically, Talia.
Sounds good.
My mithril eyes are peeled, and my
Okay.
senses about them.
So yeah, as you guys go further into the cave, roll survival.
Got you. Nope, everyone. Someone give me advantage, and I'll guidance myself.
Bye.
Yikes for
Can
you.
I give advantage somehow?
So I have the second character.
2, and then survival with advantage because people in the party are helping me. Is that okay?
I am people.
Durgat's helping me. That's a nat 20 for 30. That is a 30 survival.
Okay.
Yeah, but I got a 1.
Okay. So yeah, you see ahead of you there are 3 tunnels, and you can tell that there seems to be more material that's been dug out from the tunnel in the middle and like brought out, and it seems that area has been more heavily worked compared to the other 2.
That does mean there's more likely to be better resources there. It also means they may have already been taken.
Yeah, because I will say that the other 2 on the sides have like some stuff kind of piled up, like rocks and old dirt and everything, but not nearly as much as the middle one.
Do the other 2 seem shorter?
Shorter? Shorter how?
Like, you said there's branching paths, but like, do they go like less distance into the cave?
No. They're all sort of at the far end of the cave. As you look into the tunnels, you can't see like the end of them. Like you just see it like go in, and it's just darkness after a while. So they do go further down than just what you can see.
Which tunnel should we go down? I have Sam now.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Sam. He's a hawk.
Cha-cha!
I did plan for him to be a hawk prior to this, so I'd have 2 birds. But it's convenient that he's a hawk for this, so I can have him fly down it. So that's nice. I'm gonna have him fly down the center tunnel, which is the spookiest of the lot. It has the most material. And tell me what he sees, or generally perceives.
Okay. Yeah.
Mind.
As you fly, or as Sam flies in, the tunnel goes on for about 100 feet, and it begins to open up. And as it does, the cavern it leads into is enormous. It is extremely large, and there is a gigantic underground lake in this area.
I said to the group, the cavern this leads into is ginormous. Underground lake area.
Interesting.
It seems like along the edges of the cavern there have been like different smaller pockets dug out by people, and some go pretty far and others are fairly shallow. But one thing is for sure, there are a lot of them, and this place looks like it's been dug pretty good. There's not a lot of mithril like immediately that you can see at ground level.
Maybe we'll have to come back later, scrying. Sam, come back. I will have him fly down the left tunnel.
Okay. The left tunnel begins to go and curves going to the west, and it starts large, and as Sam goes down, it begins to narrow and get very small. And as he gets to the end of it, there is a straight vertical drop. The tunnel comes to a dead end, and it drops further below through the floor. And it's roughly about a 15-foot hole.
15 feet deep?
15 feet wide, sorry.
Ah. And I assume I can't see the bottom of it.
No, it is black.
He's got wings. Send him down.
Yeah, but before I have him go down, I don't want him to get clobbered by something, not know what's in the final hole. So he's going to come back and look at the right path, and then he's going to go down later.
Okay, so you are going down the right path?
Yes, and then I'm going to come back to the left path.
Okay. The right path, Sam begins to go down, and it goes for about 50 feet, and it seems like at the end there has been a cave-in and has been blocked off by stone and earth.
In that case, down the hole.
Okay. So yeah, you fly Sam back down the farthest left tunnel, and he goes to the end where it stops, and it's a dead end, and he just goes straight vertically down the tunnel. And it is a very, very narrow manhole. It's 15 feet wide, and it does not get any wider. If anything, it might even get a little bit more narrow. But Sam begins to go down it, and he goes 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, 50 feet. Keeps going and going. And he's down well 90 feet, 100 feet in this hole. And it finally opens up, and you just see this cavern that resembles the inside of a geode rock. And from the far, far western side of the roof, there is an opening with very thick tree roots growing down in front of it. And there is a waterfall that comes from the lake above on the floor that is down the middle tunnel.
Okay. So, instead of dropping to our death, you could swim into it?
It seems possible, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, I relay to the group there is a massive hole, which drops for many hundreds of feet, down like a 15-foot wide hole.
No, only about 150 feet.
150 feet is 1.5, and that's... I rest my case. Many hundreds. And, however, There is a geode at the bottom, filled with many beautiful things that I don't really know, but they look fancy. They could be mithril. There seems to be an alternate entrance, though, as down that tunnel, pointing down in the middle tunnel. There's a big lake. At the bottom of that big lake is a hole where there's tree roots growing over the hole, and that leads into the bottom cavern that's like hundreds of feet down. So if we could go through that hole, there's like a waterfall that leads into it. Maybe we could go that way. Seems
so
safer than
either
dropping to our death.
Okay, so
Good.
either we drop to our death or we drown.
You can swim.
I can also make all of us breathe water. I'd need to rest, but I could do that.
Well, we could, well, yeah, no, maybe that wouldn't be a good option. I was gonna suggest we could climb down, but
I don't
I'm
think
not
we have-
even.
Yeah, we don't have that much rope.
Eventually, I'll be able to.
And I will say that when Sam was in the large cavern below, that the inside that looked like a geode, it was almost completely black, and the tips were a very shiny silver color.
Ooh, that sounds promising.
And-
Can I ask the waterfall? Did that like end in like a pool of water that if we dropped into, we would die?
It seemed to drop into a larger pool of water, yeah.
Nice. That sounds like the better of the two options. But if we have a third, I'd like to hear it.
It is
We could
still...
dig-
Any other?
A staircase.
Are there any other tunnels that we missed around here?
There's the cave-in tunnel.
We could check
What?
that out. Just dig a hole through there real quick.
Yes, but what if it caves in again?
Kind of
Well,
spooked.
If it was caved in intentionally, you know, what's behind that? Well, I guess I could find out what's behind that. And he sits crisscross applesauce in his commune with nature.
Okay.
And I will ask for prevalent paths, specifically what lies behind the cave-in of the tunnel. Any buildings, and any influence from other planes of existence. No, powerful celestial fae and influence from other planes of existence. I don't care about buildings. 300 feet since we are in a cave.
I will say that you do get a ping from a structure.
Ooh. Is it behind the cave-in?
Yes.
Oh.
And all you really get is a ping from a large structure on the other side of the cave-in.
On the other side. Can I tell if the structure is made of stone? Is that something I can tell?
It is made of stone, yes.
It is. Can I tell how far away it is?
Roughly 200 feet, 300 feet.
With knowledge of the terrain, can I tell how big the cave-in is? Like how big that area is?
Like how deep the cave.
Yeah, like all that
The
rock
cave-in,
that's
yeah.
there. Yeah.
I would say
Amount that's blocking. Is it more than 40?
I would say it's about 40 feet or more, yeah.
Or more?
For sure
I guess we'll
40.
find out.
Yeah, that's
okay.
for sure 40, yeah.
Then Moss will, I guess, walk the group with his dark vision, being able to see finally in the dark. Walk his group to the cave-in entrance. Just be like, seems like there's a building behind here. And he just
Oh.
kind of like pushes his hand, and then just kind of like pushes it into the rock. And as he pushes it, the rock just kind of slowly turns to mud. And
Oh.
he is going to. This is a bad one to drop so early.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna transmute rock. Did not want to waste my 5th level this early.
Didn't have to.
Okay.
We
So
have pickaxes.
Well, that'd take forever.
I'm big.
okay.
This gets it done instantly. It's fine. It's
Ye-
just if someone gets hurt, wait a day. Survive. It'll be fine.
So yeah, the rock and earth liquefy in front of you, and as it does, you can see that the tunnel is open. It's no longer blocked off. I assume you are walking back into it.
Well, I'll give
Might
it
as
a
well.
second. You know, Make sure the walls are stable, it doesn't cave in again.
Yeah, no, it seems to be okay.
Yeah, if it looks all good, Moss will begin trudging through the now thick mud.
Okay. And as you do, the cave begins to wind and snake, and there is a carved set of stairs in front of you. And you begin to walk up, and you see in front of you there is a large step pyramid made entirely of gold, and a sphinx sitting in front of it. And it turns its head to you and says, "What kind of coat is always wet when you put it on? What is your answer, traveler?"
Can
A coat of a coat of paint. Paint. A coat of paint.
That
Yeah, huh?
is correct.
Oh!
A keen
just-
mind you have.
You out of all people.
Tony flexes his mind.
I just would have said a freshly washed coat.
The
I
Oh.
was gonna say a raincoat, but you put that on before you get wet.
The sphinx ruffles its feathers and says, "Too long it's been since I've had a test of words. Answer my riddles, and I will give you one thing you desire."
Oh.
Oh.
oddly seductive.
Answer my riddles wrong, and I will tear you limb from limb. What
seems rather
is your
aggressive.
answer?
Can I ask a question, or is that not allowed?
You can ask, you just don't know if it'll answer you.
Can I hear the riddles first?
No, I just want to ask: are multiple answers possible, or is
Yeah,
it just
like
one
a
set
one
answer?
thing, or is it like acceptable answers?
And it says there's only one answer to the riddle.
Okay, that's bullshit.
Is there like a time frame I have to answer? Or can
Yeah,
I like
could we
come
just sit
back
here
after
for a
some
while?
consideration?
Are we allowed to like talk as a group?
And it says, you may talk amongst yourselves, but once you start the game, you are not allowed to leave.
Ooh.
Okay.
See,
I mean, the
something
word.
we desire. Is this like?
And
could you be more
roll perception checks.
Yes.
Oh no.
Perception.
Well,
Ouch.
Oh! Tony's going off on one.
Yikes.
29.
Okay. Yeah, as you walk into this chamber, you hear a very loud crunch under your feet as you walk in, and as your eyes adjust, you see severed body parts, long decayed and turned into skeletons, skulls with
Oh, no.
like thumb thick
Ew.
holes through the skulls, and arms and femurs and feet and pelvic sections just strewn about this inner cavern.
can I take some of the skulls that are less damaged, and also some of the?
You fucking.
Dig it, not right now.
Can Jamila also scurry through the skulls and try and?
No.
or
I mean-
it's not skulls.
Moss
mean,
will slap both
bone.
of them on the wrist.
You guys can
They're
attempt to
breaking down.
do whatever you would like to do.
Moss turns to the
Anything?
group. We need to decide this now. We could get the mithril done, dusted, phylactery
get
destroyed
so
on
much
our
more.
way.
I know, but like if we answer wrong and we have to
we
fight,
answer
then
wrong?
then I'd prefer to have the bones with me.
We could just grab the bones on the way. There's so many bones. Just don't grab them right now.
Yeah, but
There's
I
much
want
more
them all.
important things to dig it. Not right now.
Okay.
Just
I look to the
What
group.
do we do?
With a grin on my face that you get a general feeling of. You know it's there.
I
I look
turned
at
to
everyone.
I turned to Sphinx. How many riddles are there?
You must answer 5 riddles.
Oh, 5.
Yeah, that's great.
Jesus. How about
God.
yeah? Can we get you down to 3? 5's a bit much.
Roll persuasion
Can I roll
yeah.
persuasion,
and roll
please?
real high.
Can we
We're never
take
busy.
that back?
Tally's like, I give you 3, and I roll persuasion on that because I'm the master at this.
Can I guidance myself and
Okay. And
29.
I'm gonna luck myself still too. just
And-
because I can.
And the Sphinx says, "It's been so long since I've had visitors. 3 will suffice."
Sphinx, you have a
This is
lot.
what you have me for.
Talia.
I itch for the game.
We
This
have
is what
already
you have
answered
me
one
for.
riddle.
Oh,
Yes.
That's true. That's
That
the first riddle.
that
the
no,
qualifier?
that riddle
No,
does.
okay.
Yeah, that riddle's.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that right, Mr. Sphinx? Doesn't count then. All right, fine.
I feel like this is an opportunity
clapped
we
so
can't
hard my
pass up
hands.
on.
I
Right?
have
Yes,
a
we
feeling
have-
I'm
we
a
have
bit
to answer
tired.
the
question,
after
Mr.
this.
Sphinx.
Let's go.
Lay 'em on
We
me.
accept your challenge,
Let's do
Sphinx.
this.
And the Sphinx says, "The game is on," and you hear as the tunnel you just came through collapses in on itself.
Damn it!
I see. I
You
see.
wily bastard.
You dick. Can I get my spell back?
So, Jamila will say, I do have one condition.
Well, we've
No.
already agreed to
No.
it, you
Yeah, we already
spanner.
agreed.
Fine.
You don't sign the contract, then say actually.
And also,
What is your
And,
first riddle?
She says, "What is not alive but grows, does not breathe but needs air?"
Fire.
No.
That is correct.
Yeah.
let's talk a bit before we spit out answers, huh?
Yeah, please.
Fair enough.
And Corn,
kinda spooky.
I swear to God, if you're looking at the answers, I will destroy you and
Right,
everything.
I actually no, I did not. Yeah, no,
I know.
I did not look it up, and you know.
I know. It's not that hard, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, Mike, I had a quick draw on that one too. That's
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
Don't go with that one. Come on.
I thought mushrooms. Whoops.
Mushrooms?
are fungi
Mushroom.
are technically alive.
Yeah, they're alive.
Mushrooms are fucking weird. That's what I know.
Yeah, but the riddle wasn't. What is fucking weird? You dare.
And
What is your second riddle, Sphinx?
the Sphinx says, "What is it that you keep when you need it not, but throw out when you do need it?"
Huddle.
Yeah.
Arms around
I w-
everyone.
I would say a watch, like a pocket watch.
No.
This
What's
isn't
that-
a
what's that
physical
to
thing.
Keep
It's
it
a
in
riddle.
now? Is it memories?
Hold on. Say, ski repeat.
What is it that you keep when you need it not, but throw out when you do need it?
Is it? But throw out. What do you throw?
I mean, there's these pocket watches thingy, and then you kind of,
It's
you know.
not-
It's not a literal thing. It's a riddle.
I know, but like fire is also like a literal thing.
Yeah, but it doesn't
Yes, but
literally
it's
die.
not something that breathes.
Like it's a riddle.
Yes, something you throw out.
Trash.
I thought this was gonna be
No.
like silence, like
Um,
time. Because you can keep time, but you can't throw.
yeah, no. I was thinking more along the lines of ball, where it's like,
I don't know,
you cut out.
children.
No.
Don't throw
You
out
don't
kids.
throw out children.
Well, some
I'm-
people do. They're dicks.
I mean, when you need them, you can throw
Money?
them out of the house to force them
Money?
to get a job.
No,
Hey,
'cause you
money.
don't need-
Of course, if
And,
you need money,
the
you
Sphinx-
go throw it out and give
The
it to
Sphinx this
someone.
entire time, his feline eyes are just fixated on you, and you can see the pupils kind of shrinking and growing as
Can I
his
read
front
any
claws
reaction?
begin to kind of knead the stone pedestal he sits upon.
Okay, can you say? Okay, can you quickly repeat the question or the thing again? Because I'm a bit tired and my memory's shit. I'll
Yeah.
write it down. That's fine.
And the Sphinx says, "What is it that you keep when you need it not, but throw out when you do need it?" And who the hell is typing?
Me, I have to write it
Sorry.
down.
I will destroy you.
It has to be money, right? Because when you need money,
No, you don't
pay
just
something.
throw out money. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you throw out
To
money
pay
when
off
you need
debts.
it? That's not.
when you don't need it, you keep it on you because you keep your money on you. When you need it to buy something, you give it,
So you throw
throw it out.
away.
I can't argue with that logic, but I still doubt it for some reason.
Yeah, I doubt it too. I don't know why.
Kind of
No,
vibe
no
this.
other
It's better
idea.
than anything else we have. Any other ideas?
A bouncy ball?
Oh, darn it, no.
Money it is.
Oh, hold on. I look to Moss and like give him like an eyebrow.
Can
Be
I
like, we could definitely say money. That is an option. And I give Moss
Yeah.
another eyebrow wiggle.
Can I gauge the Sphinx's reaction of us like as we're rattling off answers?
Money
see
is
if there's one
definitely a
they-
vital option.
See if there's an answer they visually react to.
It seems like a very playfully curious cat. Its eyes are growing, or its pupils are growing and shrinking as it looks at you, waiting for your answer, and its claws are kind of kneading into the stone pedestal. And it doesn't seem to give any sort of visual reaction to
None.
the
Zero.
answers that you speak
It's
amongst yourselves.
Good.
All right, I guess that's better than anything else we've got.
I mean, sorry guys, but my brain works in like a way to find like unconventional answers.
Yeah,
I would be able to help if it was technically
fine,
not
you're-
false.
You're very, very good at killing people. You do your job very well, Daggett.
I
We
mean, if you,
appreciate
I mean, you need a bouncy ball. If you,
Can I ask
if you,
the size
No.
category of the Sphinx?
Uh,
Just preparing
Up the
myself.
Sphinx,
It
just swapping the
is
mindset.
size category large.
Okay, I'm gonna end concentration on myself. Give myself a. Oh, I always forget the name of the feature. The thing that gives me advantage on strength checks, but it's, yeah, peerless athlete. There we go. From my my divine sense.
Okay.
I'm back.
will turn and look to Talia and just like look back and be like,
And, the Sphinx says, "What is your answer?"
It's the only thing
Do
I
I
can
have a
think
little
of.
bit of time?
Moss nods and looks up. It's like coin, money.
And, She continues to look at you, no emotion, and says, "The answer was anchor. How disappointing."
Oh, I'm gonna reduce that Sphinx.
And
There's one answer. You lied. It's Moss. Quick draws, cast blight.
The Sphinx is reduced.
Initiative.
and
Oh,
that's where we'll call it for this week.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
knew
Oh my
it.
god. I
that's
could not
stupid.
think of anything.